Hello and welcome to Let's Play Scrabble's coverage of the fourth annual Midwest Major presented by WGPO. I am Jason Idalski, Brian Garnett alongside a couple of Midwesterners bringing you the first three rounds tonight of the Midwest Major out of Madison, Wisconsin. Brian, how are you this evening?
Hey everybody, I'm good. Um, I've donned my costume today, and I would be extremely impressed if anyone out there can guess who I am dressed as. Um, I'll be less surprised if you can guess who Jason is dressed as. Um, but yeah, let's see what we think out there.
All right, I'll be curious to see the guesses for this. I am not familiar with this, but then again, I am bordering on ancient. So, can you talk a little bit about the first matchup we've got today? We've got a Michigander and a Missourian in the booth, and it sounds like our first game is going to be a Michigan player and a Missouri player.
Yeah, so I will certainly be rooting for the Missouri player. Not only is he from Missouri, he's from St. Louis, like me. David Gramad is part of my Scrabble club here, or I should say, I'm a part of his Scrabble club, as I've only been playing tournaments for a few years, and he's been playing for a much longer time. Um, I love the guy and love playing him. He's a tough player and he's got great word knowledge. So I'm excited to watch him play. What do you got on his opponent?
Yeah, he will be playing Steve Grobe, the eighth seed. Currently the highest rated NWL player in Michigan, and I believe that extends to WoW as well. That's always been kind of a bragging right in Michigan with so many good players. I used to have that title, no longer. A WoW rating of 1775. As you can see, he's played almost 4,000 games in his career with a 56.6% win percentage, 353 tournaments total.
Um, Sorry, I'm just amazed by one thing here, which is that he is from Fenton, Michigan, and when I said I'm from St. Louis, I'm fibbing just slightly. I'm from Fenton, Missouri, actually, which is just in St. Louis County.
So if we could change that I to an O there, then he'd be even closer to you than David is. But
Yeah, I would have to definitely have to change allegiances. Sorry, David.
as you can see, these two have played twice, once in 2016, once in 2025, with Steve winning both. So head to head of 2-0. I'm a little surprised they haven't played more. Again, both have been players, fixtures on the tournament scene pretty much since I've started, I think. So
Yeah. Let's see if David can um, get closer to evening up this score here.
yeah. So like I
And
said, we will be starting with three games tonight. Then tomorrow morning we will be coming back with eight games. I believe tomorrow morning we will be doing the CSW lexicon. We will be doing all the WoW lexicon tonight. Then six games tomorrow, four break, and then two. It sounds like we are repping the costumes on behalf of the A division here. Our man on the scene, producer Josh Greenway, reports not too many costumes in A, but loads in B and C. So we're gonna have to see if we can figure out a way to get some of those people on camera. So as we wait for the players to take their seats and bag the tiles and be ready, Brian, what are you looking forward to seeing this evening?
looking forward to some flashy plays, some bingos, some top level competitive Scrabble play. I always learn something when I watch these Division A players face off against each other.
Well, I'm sure we'll both learn a few things tonight. So, sounds like the players are ready. So we don't want to hold them up anymore. So if they're ready, we're ready, and let's play Scrabble. David going first in this one.
Got the handshake. It's official.
And that
I'm
first
happy to
rack of the
see.
tournament, it's can sometimes set the tone. Although I feel like usually if
Yeah.
my first rack of a tournament is terrible, my tournament will be good, and vice versa. So
Ooh, this is a mix. I don't like the VU. I like the other stuff though.
C
What do
D
we?
E I V S U.
Yeah, almost has devices. I don't see a bingo here. I don't know about you, but I would be
Looks like
just thinking about how I could get rid of at least one of the U or V. What do you see?
it looks like he can do that with Viced, which will
Mhm.
score 30 if he puts it with the D on the double letter. Um, the serviced extension would still be in play with David sitting on the S, but certainly looks like Viced for 30 is best. Brian, do you see anything that might leave a better bingo lead? Well, I guess it doesn't matter because looks like David is going to get this off to a good start with Viced hitting the board.
Yeah, I like the play. Keep an S and one other not so good tile, but then he gets to draw five more. Maybe get a blank or some nice letters to go along with that. And meanwhile, Steve, is he giving us an indication of what he wants to play? Does he want to play should I say? This
Yeah,
next hand?
maybe looked like he might have been setting up Hove through that V and Viced.
Oh, uphold. Okay. I'm learning. Like I
That is
said I
his
was looking
highest
forward to.
scoring play at 28. Could also play up dive or up dove in that same spot as well. Or he could play shorter, get rid of more of his clunky tiles, and keep a better bingo lead with PIU scoring 19 but keeping HOED. Brian, which of those two do you prefer? Would you take the points here?
Let's see. Yeah, I think I would. Uphold keeping scoring 28 and keeping ID. That looks great to me. I don't see any. I don't see too much of a defensive downside to that. Um, you are you are sliding that E next to a double letter, um, but you're also creating some space up top. In fact, the O would be next to a double letter as well, and you can't hit both of those at once.
Well, I got to look up. I got to be prepared and look up the extensions to Viced here.
Oh, good point.
Just creviced and serviced. So
We're going to see pouch or pouched. I like just playing pouch between those two. Hmm. How does
yeah,
that?
Steve decides to go with the better bingo leave. I actually kind of prefer pouch there. I'm not sure. Although the ED is a pretty good leave there. Now David seemed to have Haji all ready to go. That has been mucked up.
Hmm,
So it looks like his best
oh,
play is Jop off of pouch there with nothing else really coming close.
gotcha.
Meanwhile, Steve has shown the perils of drawing into a leave like IDE when you draw three vowels and one consonant. Didn't score much last turn, and it looks like he won't be scoring much next turn either. So looks like a pretty good start for David here.
All right.
You're more vocal in your support of Mr. Gmod than I am of Mr. Grove, but perhaps I might have to
Whoa!
balance it out later.
David, go! Bring it home! Sorry, everyone. Just had to let that
Okay, it
out.
looks like now he sees
I'll
the
be good.
the spot for Jop. It looked like he was considering playing it to that P in pouch, but now looks like he's going to be 2 for 2 in terms of making his best equity play here.
My man, keep it up. Nice little leave again, keeping that S. Although it um, doesn't seem to have its usual S power on this board right now.
All
It
right, so
does
five vowels
normally with
and two
numbers.
consonants for Steve Grobe. Brian, what are you saying in terms of how to get rid of some of these?
Oof. Is something like Aeneid a word, or what am I thinking of? Um, I
I
mean,
think of
oh, I
A-E,
see.
A-D-I-N-E, that one.
Yeah, yeah. Some word that involves many of these letters. Um, well, we're going to find out what he's thinking. Veined, keeping AE. Okay, how much? Scores 20. Keeps AE. That's good. Hopefully, he can draw some continents for his sake.
It's his highest scoring play there of Vane, so he will take the points, keep two vowels, and hope for better things next turn. Meanwhile, David with that ultimate frustration of he got the E for flashier, but he got the E in the wrong spot. So flash with an IR here. No playable bingos. So what do you see here to maximize score and leave?
Oh my gosh. Well, I just, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the rack to the right at the moment and see that Steve's picked up two blanks, has presumably oatmeal set up. Um, that will that will make this a game. Um, anyway, back to
Yeah, that's all
David's
right. No, I,
rack.
I do see. That's the beauty of Scrabble. You can play off five tiles and draw a bunch of vowels and have nothing, and then you can play off five tiles and draw two blanks. Does have neonatal as a double double from the N in vain. I assume that would be his highest scoring play, although we'll look in a second.
Um, so if I were in David's shoes, I would be trying to score to the left of Vane. Um, seeing if I could hit that double letter, double word. It seems like if he just had an E, he could play Flair for a lot of points. Um, but I mean, so yeah, personally, that's what I'd be spending my time on at the moment. But I don't know if there is anything.
Yeah, it looks like he's got what seems to be the best play set up, or at least had it set up briefly with FAH. Like you said, to the right of Vane there, scores 32. His only other higher scoring play would burn his S playing Sheaf for 36.
Oh,
That would
sorry, excuse me. I was referring to I was staring at the left of Vane actually. But I don't think he has a great play there.
I mean, could play Fa for three fewer points. To the left of Vane, it is a little bit maybe a little bit more defensive. Would not block neonatal though.
Well, I was being greedier. I want multiple bonus squares.
It
But
certainly
it's
looks
not much
tempting
harder.
that you could maybe
Yeah,
do something. Okay, so he's going to take the spot that he could play Sheaf, but looking to maybe play Heel instead.
it's hesitating. Okay, heal. How does that compare to his other plays, Jason?
Yeah, sacrificing 5 points versus Fa ILRS, a slightly better lead than IFRS, but as we see with Steve having two blanks, that is going to block neonatal as well as I'm sure he had stuff to the D and from the D. So as we update the score, David taking a 95 to 34 lead. So this will be a pretty even game once Steve figures out which bingo he wants to play here. Both blanks The one vowel, however, will limit his scoring. Oh, he could have played Adamoya along the left side of veins with 5 overlaps, but he will see his second highest scoring option of Edamata.
Very nice.
Confirm with the blank cam that those will be E and M.
Let's see that blank cam. Oh, baby. Love the blank cam here on Let's Play Scrabble. The first channel to feature the blank cam, I believe.
A very worthwhile endeavor. He actually could have made both blanks M and played from the HA at the bottom there. He could have played Hematoma, Haematoma, but that would have been a 5 point sacrifice. I don't know how you feel about sacrificing the 5 points for the flashiness of playing a 9.
Um, yeah, I know from experience, the thrill of playing a nine is very tempting. And in fact, the first nine I ever played in the tournament was a phony that I got away with. I had
Very nice
many.
find by David here. I was not familiar with this word, but he spotted it right away. His highest scoring play, only one of the 36 point plays that doesn't burn the S with iftar.
Yeah, this is kind of what I was referring to with David's word knowledge. When I play him, he just puts down these obscure 5, 6 letter words, and I just say, okay, sure.
Sure. Does David play many phonies? I don't actually think I've ever played him in a tournament, maybe only once.
Um, Occasionally, but I think it's just kind of by mistake rather than as a ploy. I I recall in a tournament game against him, he played Rimey, um, which I just accepted. I'll put that in chat. And then I hooked a G on it, on the front of it, to make grimy with an E, and then he challenged that off. And then, so of course, it was extra insulting when I looked at the game later and saw that his play was phony as well.
Kind of got bitten twice on that one, eh?
It's a chat, muffin with I'm so confused. It's just this muffin tentacle. I'm so used to seeing muffin with tentacle. Um, he says that that's a college word. Welcome to
Meanwhile,
the chat.
Steve has gone from not having enough consonants to having too many, just the one vowel in the I, depending on what your stance is on the Y being a vowel. So a chance to play 2 tiles for 40 points here. If he sees the pouchy hook, he can play Idil. Although that may not be the best play because body below Edamata is 27, keeping the better bingo leave of INT. So of those two plays, Brian, which do you like? Do you like playing the DY for 40, or do you like leaving INT and scoring 27?
40. Give me points.
I tend to agree with you. Statically, body is better, but after you play body, you're kind of blocking that R below. You have the nice bingo leave with INT, but this board is not going to be very amenable for bingos right now. After
Yeah.
playing body, you would pretty much have to bingo to that Y, or through that O, which is not very open. Obviously, the top half of the board pretty much dead for bingos. Not too many bingos, through a J. So I tend to agree with you. The question is, do you think either player knows the pouchy hook? Do you think either player will see the pouchy hook?
I I think they both know it, but it's, I mean, from my experience, it's very easy to not or to miss hooks that you know, but just um, don't consider when it's actually available. And then sometimes I notice the hook and then several turns later forget when I get the relevant letter. Um, of course, these are higher rated players than I am, but you know, we all miss opportunities now and then.
Right, so instead of going the body route or the WADY route, he plays WANY underneath. And I agree with you. Even if you know Pouchy, it's very easy to see heel come down and think that that Pouchy hook is dead. So I probably would have
Yeah,
missed IDYL in that spot myself, even if I knew Pouchy for sure.
yeah,
So
yeah.
back
Same here.
to David, who has a very nice play that can score 24 and leave well playing Goji through the J and drop. However, that does set up potential QI XI plays. Brian, are you concerned about that? Would you rather make a play like Go or Goo in that spot, or I mean, I guess Go or Goo have their own problems. Um, so what are you looking at here?
Uh, wow. Yeah, Goji does have. I mean, it's far and away the best equity play, but yeah, I think I would be scared of slotting that I right above the triple letter, especially with no further letters to the right of the I. So it's very easy to just plop the Q or the X and extend to the right. Um, that's a tough one. I wonder how it sims, how this play sims, if you're able to get that going. I might, but yeah, my guess is we maybe sacrifice some equity, and I might be wrong.
Yeah, I mean, looks like
David
other
says
than
go
Goji,
for it.
the second best play. He could play Jog from that J, keeping the very nice IORST leaf. But again, it's a very good leaf for bingos, but this is not a very good board for bingos. So certainly seems like you just have to play Goji, um, take the points, and then hope that you don't get killed.
Yeah, looks like it's coming. No, excuse me.
He's
The
got Goose set up. I don't know if he's planning on playing that off of the J or if he's got another spot in mind for it. Nope, fake out.
that's that's my move.
I don't know if this is David's first time on screen, but I on stream, I should say. But I imagine that you probably, as somebody who doubts himself a lot over the board, I'm sure that's probably amplified when you're on stream. It's like, do I really want to put this G in the triple line? If he triples through it, it'll look pretty foolish. But so he's going to play Goo down there, which is not awful. Sets up the eye.
Yeah, that seems like a good enough play to me. Apologies, everyone. Um, that was a bit of a dad joke. That's a hint to my costume, if anybody saw it before. I am dressed as the dad of the title character of a cartoon. That is my hint.
All right. Meanwhile, Steve very quickly making what seems to be his best play of Bigot. And David finding the cue, but it turns out he could have played Goji last turn and maybe been all right. But Goo will give
Uh,
himself a very nice spot to dump that QI for a bunch of points.
yeah.
That's that.
So
That's
what
that
is the
foresight I never seem to have over the board. I don't know if maybe you're better at it than me.
what is that?
The way he kind of set up that Q draw there. He set up the QI with Jig, albeit perhaps not deliberately.
Well, yeah, if he If he knew the key was coming, maybe he would have played Goji. So we won't accuse him of cheating by using ESP just yet.
Surprised we haven't seen this come down. This is kind of
Okay,
what
I'm sorry. Sorry to
fellow
interrupt you,
commentator
Stefan.
Matt Canick calls like this can be a little tilting. It's like what took you so long to play QI for 42? Oh, we missed it.
What? What? Oh, my Missouri man. No, I understand. I understand missing that. I do things like that myself sometimes. Oh, that's gonna hurt when he sees that later. He might even see it during the game. That's the worst when you see a better play you could have made.
That's the worst when you see it during the game. So
Yeah, it's very distracting. Uh, sorry, I was kind of interrupting you earlier because I saw a new poll in the chat here. Nice poll, producer Josh, but the answer is none of the above. I'm sorry.
I would have guessed Luigi. You looked a little Luigi to me.
Yeah, I have a funny story um, about that. Yeah, many people. Okay, so I guess I can tell it now without giving away who I am yet. Um, but when I dressed up this way, I was afraid that people would confuse me for Luigi. And then I get to the party, and guess who the host is dressed as? I, I'm well, not hearing a guess, but the answer is he was dressed as. Oh, yes. I guess you were letting chat. Yes, chat. Let's play Scrabble. Um, in chat, Mario is correct. That was embarrassing. The whole night, everyone just thought that I just created a couple's costume.
Meanwhile, Steve playing Mend, not putting the E on it, which he could have done. However, the E being his only vowel, perhaps maybe saving it just to save his only vowel or saving it for later. David does have a bingo here, although not an easy one to find. It has been pointed out in the chat. From the I in Iftar, he has Ivoriest, which, like Ironiest, is just one of those things that is very difficult to see. Also, very difficult to see it because the only way you can really bingo down there is from the eye. So he looks like he will not see it and maybe play VIE up top there.
He's pausing, maybe. Come on, Missouri man. Do you see it?
It's that sixth sense. I know I have a bingo in here somewhere on this board.
Oh, he just peeked over at me. I saw him look to the camera. I'm trying to send him telepathic signals here. Come on, David, listen to me. Pick
Oddly
it
enough,
up.
both players can play the serviced extension for 42. Both have SER on their rack at this point.
Come on, David, show me a bingo.
Unfortunately, his hit his clock does set up the S for later though. It scores a respectable 23. That'll give him the lead back as I update the score here. Steve missing the I he needs for seminars. And it looks like his best play is that SER extension to Weist. Or Brian, do you just fish off the S for 16, making QIS, and try to bingo soon?
That's very tempting. You're telling your opponent you have an S, and then asking them what you're going to do about it. But he plays scene for how much?
That
20
was
something.
26. Actually, when I thought we were going to see serviced when the S hit the board,
Okay, not
but
a great.
decides to play C. This is one reason that I tend to not hate the double. I mean, I just kind of hate breaking up the double S because when you do it on a play like this, like you said, if you play QIS, your opponent knows you have an S, but your opponent's going to know you have an S after seam. There's a lot of plays you can make where your opponent knows that you have the second S in reserve. Serviced, you might be making that without the double S. That was pretty much basically the only option. Meanwhile, it looks like David considering snow or snort here and going to go with snort.
Yeah, tough decision. Do you get rid of the duplicate or get rid of that nasty W? I mean, W stands for, I mean, the first thing that comes to mind to me is it stands for Wolverine. And yeah, gotta get rid of that.
It had a nice way to get rid of it and still does underneath Vi. You think of the R hook to Vi and the D hook to Vi and obviously the S hook, but sometimes you don't think of that W hook. So still there for a future turn if he might need it. Actually, it won't be because Steve's going to take it, score while keeping his only vowel.
Okay.
David W-A-T, watery with another T.
What to read? Yeah, chat. Missouri has excellent barbecue. We actually, in St. Louis, Missouri, we consume more barbecue sauce per capita than any other city. So maybe that's not such a compliment to our barbecue. Um,
I was gonna
we
say, do you guys,
require
do
so
you
much
guys,
sauce.
do you have anything other than any other foods other than barbecue to hang your hat on?
Um, well, I see the polarizing St. Louis style pizza was mentioned. I'm a fan, but um, that's certainly an acquired taste. We do have a lot of good Italian restaurants in the Italian neighborhood of the Hill. Um, Otherwise, just a lot of um, random cuisine of different types. Anyway, we see, speaking of Y hooks, we see me, Rocky, come down. Uh, don't know what other letter he gonna play. Maybe he's gonna play yo. That's my favorite word.
All right. Well, now we know that you will be in charge of the impressions here. So very happy that David did see that Rocky hook. That's certainly one that I could see myself missing. All of his best plays using that, and he has decided to play Trey.
Yeah, Rocky Trey. That's the one where I fought Clubber Lang and Hulk Hogan at the beginning.
A game where the lead has changed hands pretty much. I think each of the last 8 turns now, and I would assume that that would happen again. Steve with a very balanced rack. However, the F may will get in his way for bingos. No playable bingos here. Brian, what are you seeing to get rid of that F and keep well for next turn?
I don't know who Brian is. My name is. Okay, I'm done. Uh, um, I'm sorry, did you already mention the play of Fetal right there at the top? Or,
I did not. Nope.
yeah, so that looks good to me. And it looks like it's coming down for 27, keeping ENS. Very nice.
Very nice indeed. And
Yes.
the lead changes hands again. It looks like we'll have Nice close game throughout here.
Yeah.
David with the X, however, no super awesome way to get rid of it. He could play Gnaw or New.
Sorry to take away from the Scrabble yet again, but I'm seeing mentions of toaster ravioli in chat. That's a St. Louis cuisine. There's also gooey butter cake is a favorite of mine. Jason, do you have any um, Michigan cuisine plugs?
Oh, I mean, well,
Regionally
so
important?
I have seen Detroit style pizza. That's probably
Mhm.
our most famous. But I think one of the cool things about Michigan food is that we've got a little bit of everything. We have a suburb called Hamtramck where you can get authentic Polish food. It's a suburb which used to be, predominantly Polish and is now becoming more, Bangladeshi and stuff like that. So being, in the Detroit area, which is so multicultural, David decides to get rid of the X. Could have played Naw or New, making Amend or Emend, but again, a tough spot to find. So he will just take 29 for the X. Can't fault him for that. I do want to get into a discussion at some point this evening of St. Louis style pizza. You're gonna have to remind me what that is. I've looked up a bunch of different regional pizza styles, but St. Louis's is one I forgot.
The short answer is it uses our local processed cheese called Provel, which is a mix of provolone, Swiss, and cheddar. And the sauce is a little bit sweeter, and the most polarizing aspect, other than the cheese, would be the thin kind of crackery crust. We see Zen come down. Uh, so the Michigander takes the lead again.
I remember a game like this where the lead keeps changing hands literally every turn.
Yeah, look like it's a
G-I-O
good matchup.
Degotw for David. And he does see the mend hook and makes what looks to be his best play of new.
Wow. Yeah, that mend to emend hook was sitting there for whoever wanted it. Thanks to Steve's decision to keep the E rather than playing it on that turn, which I don't blame him for. He was really short on vowels at the time. He's got unloose set on his rack. I would probably challenge that. Is that good?
That is good. However,
No, doesn't
this
play.
this board is too unloose, as in tight, for it to go down anywhere. So not a lot of great options here. He can dump the S and play in Soul along the bottom for 26, again taking the lead back. But if he doesn't do that, this will be the first turn in a while where the lead doesn't change hands because 26 is his highest scoring play. Can't really do much else other than play something like Zoo or Zune trying to set up a bingo. So tricky spot, Brian. What are you doing here? Are you gonna blow the rack up, take a 5 point lead with In Soul and Hope, or are you gonna play something like a Zoo or a Zune and try to set up a bingo?
Ooh, yeah, tough. I guess my first thought was I didn't want to blow up the rack and especially give up that S, but on the other hand, you are putting that S at the bottom where you could easily um, bingo to it. Um, so that that's a point in favor of Ensoul scoring and getting rid of the S. Um, if he plays something like Zoo, there are or Zune, I just feel like David is very likely to just make a play on top of that to the triple word score. On the other hand, I
Yeah, that
suppose
is
that
a
would open up the board some more. So I don't know. Tough call here.
That is a very good point. Plays like Zoo or Zune, we can see that David would play something like Digit on top of that. Like you said, it does open the board. However, looks like only 9 tiles in the bag right here. So
Oh, good
if
point.
if you were to play Zoo, your opponent plays Digit. They're going to expand their lead, and you're only going to have, if you don't draw the bingo, you're only going to have, one play in which you can only play off 1 or 2 tiles in order to get there. However,
Hmm.
I'm not sure. I'm starting to think that in Sol is the play. It leaves 3 in the bag, which is kind of an awkward number. You're obviously going to want to play 3 or 4, but then you're going to empty the bag and give your opponent, the best chance to go out in a 7-on-6 or 7-on-5 endgame. They're probably going to go out in 2. And close endgames are usually won by the player going out in 2. So a really tricky spot for Steve. He has taken, um, looks like he's taken 5 minutes already on this turn. That can't be right though. That's maybe that's a 3. My old eyes are having a hard time seeing.
Well, he has the time. He's used his time well. Um, Better than David so far. Okay, he's going with Tolu. Really, really wanting to get rid of the U and have the best leave possible. Um,
The thing about Tolo is that it doesn't really give much back.
True.
Um, Let me just put this in really quick and then update the score so we can see the bag from David's point of view. Digit with
Yeah,
an OU for him. And yeah, as a result of Steve's very defensive play, nothing more than 16 here for David. So we've
wow.
certainly got a very interesting tight board endgame shaping up here.
I see Steve has Neroli's on his rack, um, which doesn't seem to fit at the moment. I don't know if there are any other bingos available.
Sure, that does not play from the L in either fetal or Kolu or the O or the U. So Steve basically saying, "All right, I'm going to try to win this game by trying to bingo," which is tricky as tight as the board is. However,
Yeah.
as we can see, he's picked the right time. As you look at that beautiful remaining tile pool from David's perspective, and that's always frustrating when you've got a slight lead, but you're looking at IIOU and you see that
Yeah.
the unseen pool is a couple of S's, a couple of R's, a T, a couple of E's, um, and he certainly would be right to worry about a bingo here. So Brian, what are you seeing that responds to this threat either by scoring or blocking bingo lanes or hopefully doing some combination of the two?
Good question. Um, oh well, my man bails me out of answering that tough question you posed by making his play of Oidia, or however you say this fine vowel dump that we Scrabble players love. So that plays off 4, leaving 2 in the bag. Um, that's a good number to leave for Steve.
That's a good play. I kind of like Indigo from the IN at the bottom there. It does kind of fork the board, create that fork shape, stop the bingos from the OLU or hooking. However, it does open that nice juicy S hook. If you've got a 7 with the S in the middle, then you're going to put that down. So Neroli's for Steve with no home and with only 2 in the bag. We're going to see a fish. The question is, what is Steve going to fish off and where?
Hmm, that's a good question. He could play, just throwing this out there, I would be looking at something like ON below the Y, set up an E or an S hook. Um, don't know if that's advisable. It might be easy to block. You
The
can
thing
make a
is, you do
short
have
play.
it's counterintuitive. Uh-oh, Steve has knocked over
Oh,
the rack here. That's okay. We know he has Nerolis. Hopefully our producer stepped away. Okay, he has seen it, so we're gonna.
okay. Um,
All right, so the clock is
Quinn,
actually the clock is not stopped, although it should be.
so Quinn James in chat mentions that Steve probably doesn't want to keep the L. That's a good point because there are two L's on the board he would like to be able to play from, and keeping an additional L would make it harder to have a bingo from those.
Yeah, it's counterintuitive, but if you fish off the S and draw the E, you're guaranteed, as long as you don't play Tully, you're guaranteed to have Lonelier as an outplay because there's L's in two separate quadrants of the board.
Oh,
But yeah, if you can
didn't know
fish
that.
off the L and draw into Senior, but again, what do you have when that Talu spot gets blocked? So is there a good way to play the L? You could play EL at the bottom, but then again, that would empty the bag, also burn your E. Irons is not a bad leave, but maybe not the best one here.
Yeah, so sometimes in this situation, you have to do the hard work of thinking about the possibilities of what bingos you would have if you fish off one or two tiles. Um, and that thought of hoping for an E is good, but that's of course just a 1 in 9 chance from his perspective.
Yeah, the fact that David played off the OIID last turn means he probably has a bunch of vowels. As it turns out, the bag is BS. Not the bag is. I should say the bag has a B tile and an S tile. Not commenting on the worthiness of the state of the two tiles in the bag. I realize I was saying the bag is BS can be misconstrued
Okay.
there.
Uh, Sorry, good point, Quinn in chat. An R would also be a welcome sight for foreigners.
There we go. Okay, so you draw the R, you would have it in two spots. You draw the T, you would have the stonier rack, which should be pretty flexible.
Yeah, so yeah, that's if he fishes off an L. You would.
You could you could play it off of the E in Trey, although that's a little riskier because then if David plays something, underneath Talu, it's possible that he could make bingoing very difficult. But certainly seems like the standard drawn to the senior stem. The senior stem is the best six tile stem you have there, and it certainly seems like that's the best option here.
So much of his remaining time being spent on this play, which makes a lot of sense. It's a critical decision. That's why you try to play faster earlier in the game to leave yourself time for these very tough decisions. So kudos to Steve for that time management, but he will have to make a choice sooner rather than later.
Interesting in game. David only down to 2 minutes. If Steve fishes one here, this is one where you would like to play out all eight scenarios. However, that's not going to be very easy to do with just a couple minutes left on the clock.
Indeed, David's really um, thinking hard um, on Steve's clock because yeah, he knows he will have to make a quick decision depending on what Steve does. Okay, we see the L come down.
He will go with the L, so two choices here, the S or the B. I think the B would be really bad. He probably of the two, he definitely wants to see the other S here. Let me commit EL here.
And he sees the B.
Now a tough decision for
Yeah, he's got to, David's got to make a decision soon.
it does seem like it's pretty easy for from his point with just the one in the bag. Obviously, you're going to empty the bag regardless.
Yeah,
You see that Sonsier is in there. That's probably the only bingo, at least that plays. Sonsier seniors, obviously.
right.
So nothing from the O, L, or U. So even just plunking the O after the L in fetal is a good way to block that. However, it does kind of risk getting outscore.
Well,
So it
he
looked like
can't
he
put his
he
key
wanted to
there,
play
David.
fever, but realized that made OT. So now it looks like he's risking going over on time. Add is a very nice play. Does not take the S. Has not hit his clock yet though.
Ooh, I did appreciate his glance to the camera uh, at the near phony of OT. David's he's chatting right now about something.
Yeah, perhaps a scoring discrepancy.
Well, Steve's clock was running. Oh, there was something wrong with the clock. Uh, we're hearing from our producer, so David will be given 10 more seconds for that reason. So meanwhile, Steve with his 2 remaining minutes kind of just has to concede this one, no?
It certainly seems that way. No wins per Quackle. However, Quackle doesn't realize that there is a distinct possibility that David will play inferior endgame and or go over on time. So it looks like it sounds like he has 15 seconds instead of 5.
Right.
So I don't know if he tried to hit the clock before he actually did, and it didn't didn't kick over, or what happened there. But is he gonna? Oh, he's going to take the bait and play ATTS. However, ATT does not take the S hook. That was, I'm sure, part of the reason behind David's playing it, and he will
Yeah.
challenge immediately.
Challenge.
So
Yeah.
our uh, our first look at wordjudge.me. Many thanks to Art Moore for this innovation to the Scrabble community as well as the challenge cam. So gonna throw them both in because
Please
why
throw
not?
them both in.
BROSC is actually good.
Oh,
And I
he's
think just confusion about how
yeah.
to get two words in there, but
Yeah. Yeah. I like the choice to put them both in. Well, usually I like to do that earlier in the game so that hopefully my opponent, doesn't have the info of which word was phony. But it seems that here David will make his play fast.
A couple outs there in Rugos and Regius through that O and I in Oidia, but instead he will.
Oh,
Okay, sees that guys will score a little bit more. So he will go over on time, but after the free turn,
yeah.
it won't make a difference. Guys would score. Guys scoring 16, a little behind on the scoring updates. Sorry. So 54-point lead, 44 with the time penalty. So now it's going to the desperation out bingo of Laborines, which is also not good. So these players are going to be getting their steps in tonight at the end of this game.
It's a nice try. I respect that. I
You know,
also
my
like to
rule
just
I learned from my
get a win.
Scrabble mentor: if doing something is the only way you can win a game, do it. So the only way you can win a game is to bingo. So it's worth trying here.
Love, love the challenge, Cam.
Looks like in this opening game, Brian, you will get your wish. The Missouri player will beat the Michigan player, but on the bright side, we do have better food, whether or not that poll that was put in chat says so or not.
Oh, is that right?
I mean, I gotta have something since David won this game. So,
Okay, I'll give it to you. The Detroit pizza is very, very tasty.
all right. So David's gonna go out with ER, and let's cut to overhead mic.
1, 2, 3, 6, 18 more. You get 351 to 275.
Yeah, I couldn't read what I had to. 275, and then I dropped 10.
Oh yeah, 341.
Yeah, good game.
I just couldn't find stuff. The board got too close.
Obviously, when you did this, I was like, hey. I go,
Does this not take an S?
and I didn't like playing my A because I wanted to take these points, but I was like, you know what, I have to do that. And if I had more time, I might have had out for my rack. I had
It's Surge.
Surge.
Yeah.
Oh, Surge from where?
Right here. Oh no, you
No.
put the T there.
Yeah, the
And
T
that
was-
doesn't take.
Yeah, and I was like, and I didn't have enough time to try.
Oh,
I was like, Surge, Urges. It seemed like through here. I was like, Grouser, it didn't work. I was just lucky. I was lucky to hang on there with my time issues.
What do you think of Sunlier? Is that good? Sonlier?
Oh, Sunny with SON?
Yeah.
I would challenge that.
Yeah.
Here's what I saw as a possibility when you played this. For some reason, my tracking, I saw Sansier was a possibility, but maybe I missed an S. Because I had
the S,
yeah. I was like, Sansier, he can play it from here.
I had narrow list, but nowhere to play it.
Okay. This takes an L.
Yeah, Sunlier's no good.
This takes an L.
Yeah.
And I had no, I didn't. I thought I had the L, but I said no, I don't have the L. Because actually, I was going to play ladder, Latter, to block this. It wasn't going to score anything. I thought we really can't extend ladder to score, can you? Ladder doesn't.
No.
So I was going to play that before you stuck that L there, and so then I had to kind of say, well, what am I going to do now? I just have to hope you guys don't bingo.
Okay, there's. Oh.
I was trying for something here with my I'd argue, but obviously you weren't getting beautiful stuff to work with.
I think I had enough. This
We had one
takes
bingo?
some extensions. Serviced
Oh yeah,
and creviced.
Oh yeah. Well, I
I
wasn't
was
sure about.
thinking of the game.
I wasn't sure about that play. My lead was SU. Is it, there's no. I didn't know if to play long or short, but I couldn't get rid of the V playing short, and so I considered trading VU and keeping DICES.
Yeah,
But that's
30
scored too
points.
much.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can't pass up
yeah,
that
right.
points.
Yeah.
My dilemma, like I said, was trying to get rid of the V and the U, and I didn't. I didn't see a way to do it.
Well, I hope they've seen my lowest scoring game in the tournament.
Well, yeah, you outdid me. You outdid me
Oh,
on stream. Did you see Mike's and my game at
no.
Galesburg or somewhere? I scored 281. He scored 325 on the stream game.
Yeah.
And here, I didn't bingo. A second stream game in a row that I didn't bingo in either game.
What was the last letter in the bag? I think you picked it up after you played AT, yeah.
And you know what? For the life of me, I can't think of what it was. I don't think it was the G. I don't think because I was going to play Gator. I was going to play GATER to make you do an 8-letter word.
Oh, I saw Tater going around.
Yes, Tater. So I had a T, and I was like, but that OT, and I had Gator. So I think it was. It wasn't S. It must have been an E. It must have. Oh no. Yeah, it must have been because I had an O on my back. So I had GATERTS. Yeah, so it had. That means was it the U?
Yeah, we'll find out.
It must have been the U.
Well, I had a lot of good letters, but I just couldn't score with them. We got both blanks at the same time.
Yeah, I know.
This was probably a mistake.
That was.
I wanted to get rid of the U.
That was there was a couple turns early, like when I played this. There was another play I considered, and instead of that jop play, I considered jop into this P and keeping some type of leave. But there was actually I kept a good leave, and there's no place to bingo if I even get a bingo early on. There wasn't unless you. Yeah, there was no place to bingo because I think I had a bingo one turn and nowhere to go. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I was like, why am I going to try to get a bingo and it ain't going down?
Clearing up the tiles. So very long, very involved postmortem. One of those postmortems where almost every move was mentioned at some point. So
Yeah. Hey. Oh, see, this is green, not blue. No
Something tells
hats.
me I'm going to get the same
Well,
treatment at some point tonight if our producer has anything to say about it. But meanwhile, it's probably just as well that I'm off camera. Probably people liking to see Mario and Luigi instead of my face, even somewhat obstructed by my Halloween costume. So yeah, very interesting closed board game, and didn't even realize until David mentioned it in the postmortem. You don't always need to bingo to win. No bingos for David, and yet he still pulled it out.
yeah, great point. Next up, we'll have Annette Oberstad versus Lisa Odom. Looking very much forward to that. I think we're going to take a quick break and come back very soon with that matchup.
All right, so we will do that. In the meantime, many thanks to Let's Play Scrabble for putting this on. So while we're on break, your homework: smash that like button down there, and we will be back in a couple minutes. Welcome back to Let's Play Scrabble's coverage of the Midwest Major presented by WGPO. Jason Idalski alongside Brian Garnett. And we have quite a treat for you this game. I think I can safely say these are the two highest profile female Scrabble players whose surnames start with O. Veteran Lisa Odom and a player that is newer to this game, but certainly not new to games entirety, given her history with poker, Annette Obrestad. I actually don't know much about Annette's Scrabble game. I did hear a little bit of her commentary from Lake George. I know that she's obviously doing a lot of studying and improving and getting very good. And Lisa, has obviously been very good for a long time. Do you know what do you know about either or both of these players, Brian?
Well, as many in the community can probably guess, I'm a bit biased in this matchup as well, as Annette and I have been close friends ever since we both happened to go to our first tournament. I mean, separately, we went to our first tournament at the same time. That was the Crescent City Cup a few years ago. Of course, she came in light years ahead of me in um, ability and word knowledge and strategy. Um, what I can say about her is that she plays more than anybody else I can think of. She's just constantly playing Scrabble, and if she's not playing Scrabble or working on her YouTube channel, she's studying her flashcards.
All right. Meanwhile, Lisa Odom from a Midwesterner herself from Minnesota. Very jarring to see a second number six there in her rating. Familiar with her being 1800s, 1900s for most of the time that I've known her. As you can see, quite the discrepancy in tournaments played. I think Annette had 51. Lisa with almost 450, almost 60 percent winning percentage. Very impressive. And as you can see, more than 6,000 tournament games played. The career head-to-head 3-0. Probably don't put too much stock in that. The first one was in 2002, and I'm sure Annette would be the first to tell you that she is a much better Scrabble player now than she was 3 years ago. But interesting that in all three games, Lisa has scored over 400, while Annette has yet to reach 400. But again, their most recent matchup was almost a year ago. So don't know how much stock we're going to put into that.
And let's
Players are ready,
get to the board.
so let's play Scrabble as I clear out the previous game score. Hopefully we'll get something a little more high octane than 351 to 275 here.
Again, I have just learned that my pick, their opponent, is from a city that sounds very much like my home city. I see that Lisa's from St. Louis Park, so now I'm feeling conflicted again. So Annette has Boonier, which she is playing
She is playing, but
right away.
unfortunately for her, that is not a word. So I would expect Lisa to get this off the board. Annette has not drawn tiles yet. I assume she's on hold. She is. Well, she's drawn her first
She,
tile, so she's going to get away with one. Perhaps,
wow.
perhaps Lisa wanting to keep it on because she has modifier through that Ian Boonier.
Yeah, Annette had me fooled because I see her top play was Booner, and I um, thought that that was Boonier instead. But she found a play much better than Quackle suggested here by getting away with this phony.
Well, I thought that Lisa kept this on because she had modifier through the E, but she doesn't have it set up yet. It's one that when you see it, you're going to play it. Here it comes. Yes, yes, no. All right. Well, meanwhile, we still have the potential of seeing more bingos in the first two turns of this game than we saw in all of game number one.
Yes, indeed. I would be surprised if she doesn't find this bingo eventually. You can sometimes get a little too focused on the fact that your rack is not ideal in some ways, like two I's and F, and you can sometimes forget to look for the possible bingo.
Yep, that's this is a good reminder. You know, every single turn. First thing you ask yourself is do I have a bingo? Yes, you have two I's and a D and an F, and you can see that she's got kind of the worst of her tile set up over there. But you have to ask yourself if you have a bingo, and that makes her accepting of Boonier even more curious. I just thought that she accepted it because she realized she had modifier going through it. Even then, I think you would probably still want to challenge Boonier off. But
Well,
yeah, she will uncharacteristic misrelease as she will play Bifid.
well, like you mentioned, Annette has an illustrious poker career in her past, and she put down that Boonier within what, 20 seconds, played it very confidently. She knows how to bluff effectively.
That is a great point, right? Great point, Brian. You know, Annette, with her poker background, she's not going to give anything away, and sometimes you know, I've certainly done that. It's you know, I'm debating between a word. I'm not sure if it's good. It's on my opponent's time, and I'm like, well, if I just put this down right away, like I was waiting for it the whole time, that might give my opponent pause. So. Meanwhile, it looks like Annette, after making a play better than anything that Quackle would come up with, is going to spot that A hook to biff it and play handy for 44.
Yeah, very good. I'm sorry, Chad, that she disappointed you by not playing Haunt, which would have been very thematic. Um, Maybe not with the costumes that Jason and I are wearing, but that is a Halloween word indeed. And Annette off
We
to
should have
a great start.
yeah we should have some sort of contest for. Did we have a good? How I mean, we have Boo near that starts with Boo, but we're gonna have to figure out what after this is all said and done what the best Halloween word on stream was.
So what
So
are we looking at here
back to
for
Lisa, whose
response?
rack did not get much better.
No, she's shaking her head, not liking her options. I see she could play Mog for 24 if she has that off to the side.
And that also, will
Well,
set up your C pretty nicely with the COR. She'll have the A to go next to that G. Um, so yeah, Mog has a lot of things going for it, and it looks like that's what we're going to see. Oh, but not where I thought she's going to play it. Not on top of Boonier. Well, on top of Boonier actually would not have scored. That only would have scored 18. So would have set up the C nicer, but sacrifice 6 points. She will take the points and play it off of Bifida. So back to Annette, who as
she
the one game I saw of her in Lake George, the egg meme went around. So she had egg set up briefly.
she
Always
did that
appreciate players
for me.
who like
Thank you.
creating content while they're playing.
Egg. Thank you, Annette. If any of you don't know, that is egg is a Scrabble meme. Another polarizing, um, uh, just as polarizing as St. Louis style pizza, I believe. That being a meme in the Scrabble community, and its origins for being a meme within the Scrabble community are quite mysterious, but it has demonstrated its staying power.
So yeah, so if we get a blowout or maybe later you got to explain St. Louis pizza as well as the origins of the egg meme because like I said, I saw the first game that Annette did commentary on in Lake George. Egg was either played or set up on someone's rack, and chat went crazy. And again, being hopelessly old, I didn't understand any of it. So. Meanwhile, Lisa with Arcuate on her rack, I don't know if that is going to play anywhere. Meanwhile, after making two spot-on plays, Annette has a tricky one here. Brian, what are you seeing?
Um, well, personally, after I see egg, I just struggle to find anything else. Oh, but okay, well, she played a word containing the letters of egg. Um, and I suppose we can also consider that another Halloween word, egg being something you might do to your neighbors on that day. Gouge itself, maybe something Freddy Krueger likes to do occasionally. Um, still don't have that knockout Halloween word. I would still vote for the boo near that you pointed out before. And Lisa puts down her bingo of arcuate. Um, nice high probability word that she naturally found very quickly and played quickly, and that puts her back in the game.
Yeah, despite the couple of missteps early, she is back. However, she has given Annette the T to play entirety or eternity, and I would expect her to see both of those.
Yes, indeed. Like I said, she plays this game a ton, and otherwise she's practicing her bingo finding. Entirety, so Lisa's not happy to see that. There's nothing worse than bingoing to catch up to your opponent and then watching them slap down a bingo right away in response to take a big lead again.
Yeah, she's
And
probably a
she,
little worried this is going to be what I like to call a Sisyphus game. Sisyphus, the character from mythology doomed to push the rock up the hill for eternity, where just when you get close, oh, I bingoed to pull even, then right away, Annette bingo's on her first turn, and then you pull back to even, and Annette bingo's right back. So, not to mention that Lisa has pulled KWZ, which will certainly not be bingoing very quickly.
oh, but can she find a way to make a nice scoring play here? Um, she has Zek set up on the left. Does that play anywhere productively?
Yeah, and perhaps wanting to play Zerk through the R in Boonier, that would score 37. She can take 51 just by plunking the Z on the A in Arcuate, as well as the D opposite that. Certainly seems to be the best option. Obviously, the lead isn't great, but 51 is 51. The only other place to get rid of the Z and score is to take advantage of the D hook to arcuated and play Z for 44.
Yeah, you got to play Zed here. You got to take the 51, and you know that your leave is not going to be bingo friendly for next turn, but it does have some nice scoring tiles to hopefully make a good scoring play next turn and stay in the game. Unfortunately, she misses that. Plays Zerk
The
for
downside of Zerk there is that you play Z, you've got the S hook. She is keeping the D for the arcuated hook, but that open E which just got killed in that R, those may be bingo lines that you're going to want later in the game as you try to get into this, and you've just kind of closed them off there. Meanwhile, Annette with the unwelcome sight of both V's and one vowel. Spavvwh. I get.
Welcome to Billy Nakamura in chat. I was just thinking about the time that he played Annette on stream and put egg on the board before picking it up and playing a bingo, which I don't think Annette would have found so funny at the time, but hopefully she can laugh about it now.
So that with the WH on the side, there may be getting to getting ready to play her what seems to be her best play of Hugh in the spot where Lisa could have played Zed. That would score 33. Not very often your best play keeps both V's, but really no good way to get rid of the V's on this board. Although she just found one
Yeah,
with
very nice.
Van, and she'll take her 31. See, Lisa has Wildcat if that upside down T was an A. And probably wishing she had that Z she just got rid of with Zerk back. She does have a few options that score in the 20s. She could play Lude. Again, that spot on top of Arcuate. Neither player has taken it yet, even though they had potential plays there. So we'll see if it gets used now.
Yeah, like you said, Hugh would have scored well there, but just so tough to let yourself keep two V's.
Yeah, the beauty of Hugh though is that if the spot stays open, which it will a lot, you can play Vavs off of it, which will score decently and continue shutting down the board, which is what you want to do.
Very, very good point.
Instead of having Wit set up, perhaps wanting to play Twit from the TN entirely to help open the board back up again.
Yeah, um, looks like she's picking it up. Yeah, unfortunately keeping four consonants, but gotta sometimes just have to hope you draw the right stuff. So we'll see what she picks up with that leave.
Drawing the
Meanwhile,
right. Annette most certainly did not.
yeah.
Although she did find a vowel to replace the one that she played. And oh, Brian, are you seeing this? Are you seeing the star play here? I never would have seen this over the board.
I cheated and looked at the answer. Yeah, I know this word, but yeah, it's one of those words that you sometimes you know, but you never see when it's playable because it's just such a strange, strange form of a word. Anyone in chat see what we're referring to?
Yes, she can play 3 tiles for 40 and keep her only vowel. I'm not seeing chat pointed out yet, but
In addition, she
like
would,
you said, I know the word, but it is in a very awkward, goofy spot, and I would not have thought to look there.
yeah, and it. Mm, okay, well, she plays Hugh this turn. The play we were referring to did use those two letters consecutively. That should be a big hint.
Yes, could have played. There it is.
Yeah,
Heidi's found
take
it.
your
I assume it's Hawile. Or maybe wheel, maybe the
um,
W like the Welsh W vowel, HWYL using that Y in entirety for 40 points. But I think this is good. I think maybe that was kind of a point in favor of playing off your V last turn. Um, even though both on both of her turns, Lisa could have used that spot. If that spot stays open again, you can play your HW then. Whereas the spot to play your V may not be open next turn. So Meanwhile, Lisa, despite those two open eyes and that T, no playable bingos, but now that that spot underneath the Y, if she can spot it, can play something like Toyed there.
Yeah, that's that's a tough find indeed.
You like she has colder set up. She can play it slotting the E between the Z and the E and the R between the E and the N to make earn. Colder scores 33 and opens the board. Brian, do you like that? Would you take the if you saw them both? Would you take the points with Tord, or would you sacrifice 5 points to maybe kind of open that upper quadrant there?
Ooh, yeah, I would play colder for a 5 point sacrifice and open things up, I believe. And again, that is assuming I do see this way to squeeze the ER between Zerk and entirety. Oh, she finds it good. Good for her. I like this. Um, I also like plays that change the topology of the tile configuration. So now we have two, arguably three uh, regions within the boundaries of the tiles. So she formed another region there by closing that opening. That's just the mathematician in me speaking. Sorry, everyone.
I've never heard anybody talk about board topology before, but I may use that phrase. I don't. I kind of don't like the terms that I use for that, like you say, to get the board, shaped the way you want to. So I love being somebody who studied math in college myself. I love the fact that you use the word topology there. So Colder most certainly
Oh,
improves the board topology. A little gutsy to open that front S hook without one yourself. We see that Annette does have it and can play japes across there for 52 if she spots it. However, it looks like she may be considering gels through that Ellen Colder for 40, perhaps missing the hook, perhaps not thinking of the hook. So yeah, she will play gels, and Lisa may infer another S from this that is not there.
mm. Yeah, sorry. I'm just still thinking about the fact that you studied math in college and just trying to take my brain away from that and not just talk about um, nerdy math stuff with you.
well,
Okay,
well, we don't
getting back
uh,
up.
we don't want to put our audience to sleep here talking about stuff that maybe only the
No,
two of us are interested in. So
no, I'm not at
we
work
go for Lisa
lecturing
here.
my students, so
I
I
did
I
not
don't.
know this word.
So I was just saying I don't. Yeah, I don't want to put people to sleep. I do that for a living, giving lectures to my students. So um, okay, well we both players have a blank. It's Lisa's turn as she's pointing out to us. Let's see what she decides to do. Sir Print is being pointed out in in chat. Very impressive. Let's see if she finds that. I do
Yeah, we saw
did
we
did
had
not
the
know that
potential
word.
of servist in the last game, but now Sir Print, slightly different spelling, but another three tile front extension to a five. I did not know that word. I don't know if have you come across that one in your studies? Here we go.
No,
She's
I
got it
did
set
not
up.
know that. Wow, very good.
Very nice find indeed from Lisa. Won't hit the double, but does triple the P. So she will not quite take the lead. And that did kind of seem to give it that. What on earth is that blank look?
Been there before.
I'll be curious. I'll be curious if this one gets held, perhaps challenged. Again, I don't know if this is one that Annette has seen before, and she. Okay, maybe I just looked like she kind of gave the sideways look to the blank slip there, but Surprint for Lisa getting back in this game, and unlike the last two times the game was approximately even, Annette will not be responding with a bingo. She does have the blank. She does have the AEPQUV blank. So an interesting turn here. She can burn the blank and play Quip alongside of Surprint for 58. Or she could do something like that Y in entirety just begging to be used. There's been a couple opportunities. PYE there will score 36, or something like Weave from the WE in the corner there. Probably not the brightest idea to put an E in a triple there. So Brian, what do you like in this position? Is this a position where you would take the 58, burn the blank, and take your 60, 70 point lead back, or would you be patient and play pie and hoping that something materializes with the QUA blank later?
Uh, it depends on the board. But here I do like burning the blank, playing Quip, and taking that bingo lead, and then asking Lisa where are you going to how are you going to come back in this game with this board, with this topology?
That is a very good point. After Annette plays Quip, she's currently up by 16, so she would be up by actually shorted what her lead would be. She would be up by 74. You can see the J out in space. Really hardly nowhere to bingo on this board as presently constituted. Um, so with a 70-point lead, you say 74-point lead, you say that's my opponent's problem. And so
Hmm.
she will take the points with Quip, and like you say, the decision to do this depends on the board topology. But I think the board topology is currently such that burning the blank here is justified.
Yeah, and also, like, how often do you get an opportunity to form a two-letter word which are which is entirely made of blanks? We've got
Excellent point,
SI,
Brian. I don't know that I have ever done that. Maybe. I mean, I'm sure
no,
at this point I
neither have
have,
I.
but
Yes, a 0 point word on the board is a better way to say it. Thanks, Funny Bunny.
Lisa, with as we were mentioning earlier, a bingo rack, but not a bingo board. Senate with
Yeah.
another E. And again, she does have a nice way to to get rid of the two E's and leave AENST, that spot with the Y in entirety, just begging to be used, but nobody has found a way to do it yet. So it looks like she has ENES set up, and I'm trying to see where she would go with those. Would she play Jeans and Zerks? Yeah, that's what she's gonna do. She's just gonna take the points.
What just happened? Do you see what just happened to the board?
No, what am I missing?
Uh, the irrelevant fact that she created another whole another region. I mean, in fact, she created multiple regions. Arguably, we have one, two, three, four, five, six regions within the board, depending on whether you define a region to be closed if there's not that tile in the corner. I
Kind
love
of don't
this.
like
I love
the
this board.
the jeans. Oh, sorry, Brian.
I just said I love what this board looks like. Go ahead.
It is certainly an unusual shape. I don't know if I like that play though. It looks like Lisa's saying, "All right, the board is bad for bingo, so therefore I'm not even going to try to bingo. I'm just going to try to make up these 80 points by outscoring my opponent." But I'm not even sure that you can do that on this board either, especially leaving two singles. However, if she were to do it, the fact that Annette has three I's, an F, and a V would help.
Um,
So Annette is just going to take a few points with Vice, shut down that C for bingos.
yeah, a little joke I used to have with Annette, es- especially when I played her on Woogles very often before I said you're too good and I don't want to play you anymore. Um, was that what she would do so often is get a huge lead against me, and then it just seemed like towards the end of the game she always had a V that she was able to just play defensively like she does here to just completely shut things down.
These
But
are
so
awful tiles as a whole, but when you're ahead late in the game, boy, it is fun to throw those out in space and watch your opponent score them. That's for sure.
yeah, a very Annette-like play here. That's why she kept that V for so long, just waiting to make her opponent sad.
That's a good point. She had double V's back when she played Van. That was how many turns ago? So normally a V not something you want to keep for. Yeah, she had both V's after the bingos. One, two, three, four times she kept a V.
Wow,
But uses it
I'm so happy that
for just 11, but shaping the board the way she wants it, and now again, Lisa, trying to score, but she's got six one-pointers and the B, so she does have some scoring options here, but I'm still not sure if this is the right way to get back into this game.
I'm just so happy at the way I've shaped chat to just be discussing the mathematical aspects of the board. Um, yeah, so she does have a 40-point play available, I'm seeing, so that puts her within striking distance. And you're very difficult to hope for bingo on this board now. So maybe you just need to make this 40-point play and say, hope I can somehow catch up uh, by scoring at the end of this game.
Yeah, that spot at the bottom, though, I hate to keep harping on the Y in
Hmm.
entirety, but it feels like about half a dozen times players have had plays there and just not really seen them. So it looks like she's going to play Ba and keep the good bingo leaf. She does have, stuff ending in O, stuff ending in OS plays off of gels, so little
Yeah,
change in
sorry,
terms.
Chad. We were referring to SYBO through that Y in entirety. Uh, Playing through that Y is, as we're seeing, just very hard to visualize. Okay, and
Well, and
Annette
that
plays.
Fido to kill that potential OOS bingo spot seems to be by far her best play, leaving AIL.
Syedum SYBO, using the Y in entirety was the 40-point play.
So now Lisa's in a in a bit of hurt here. She's 68 down. She's got a bunch of singles. She needs to bingo, but Annette has spent her last two turns making that very difficult, while Lisa's last turn at least, and maybe her last two turns haven't really done much to open the board. So
Yeah, you, yeah,
so
she's
do
in
you
a
just
tough
play
spot where,
something? Yeah, do you just play something like Oot off of Fido? Um, and then making that deal with that, it feels like, after you do that, you're going to get into this, I open opponent closes, I open opponent closes, but it won't even last that long since there are only five tiles left in the bag.
Right. I mean, what else can you do? At this point, she's too far back.
Yeah, Sim is liking Oot, but I think the human response to Oot will make it
Yeah.
very, very difficult for you to win. Although I suppose it is, she does have the L and the M. I suppose there are ways that I think just about anything you do off of Oot will give something coming back, though, right?
Hmm. You're thinking at least two moves ahead, which is something I'm incapable of doing. So she's
We
down
sim
to
this Oot.
4:30 on the clock.
Right, does Annette, you know Annette better than I do. She plays a lot of blitz games on rules. Does she play a lot of fast, you know, short games?
Yeah, she does that against Hasty Bot, which is the um, well, it's the best bot you can play against on Google's for free. Um, she plays many blitz games against that monster.
Thanks for
So
joining me, Alex. Pointing out that oot goes next to give, making o give. The only problem with that is that I don't think you have any hook tiles yourself, whereas Annette has the L. But again, anything you play, if you play oot making o give, Annette plays back. She doesn't really have like that V or that C that she can throw out. So she'll play oot. Oh, she'll actually play oots to get more points. This is clever.
yeah, nice play. Wait, why is her clock still running?
That
Is
is
that
a
a
good
glitch
question. Her
or
clock should.
I mean,
That's a good
sometimes
spot.
we
Her
forget
clock
to
is
hit the
is
clock.
still running, so the old ethical dilemma. We're a net to spot that, but I don't think either player is has noticed here.
Yeah, I mean, so I have some experience playing chess tournaments as well, and uh, yeah, some players do like to just sit there and pretend that they're thinking hard when the opponent forgot to hit their clock. So um, to just let their time run down when it should be. However, in Scrabble, um, it's a little bit of a different situation because technically, like her turn isn't finished until she hits her clock. So if a net were to try to make a play, I think theoretically Lisa could say, "Hey, no, I'm not done with my turn." Although she did draw more tiles, so I'm not exactly sure what the rules say
Yeah, I
about
don't. Oh, I
that.
think they just noticed it. There
Oh,
we
there. Okay.
go. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Yeah, and I don't remember the rules because again, our producer nearby maybe could have said something, but I don't remember the rules offhand in terms of if the clock being on the
Uh,
wrong person is something that an observer can point out, or if that is left up to the players. I think once you
I
draw tiles, that signifies the end of your turn. So I think at that point, it's not like Lisa could have taken Oots back and thought of something different.
right.
Ned is doing a good enough job of running Lisa's clock. You don't need to help her by forgetting to hit it
Yeah.
yourself. But these are the kinds of games where you do because it's a close game. You're trying to figure out a way back in. It's complicated. You're taking a lot of time. It's a lot going on, and it's easy to sometimes forget to hit the clock.
Um, yeah. So possibly, if hypothetically, if they were to be reminded of the clock situation and arguably be interfering with the game. Do keep in mind though that um, it could be the case that this clock has some technical issues. Earlier we saw um, David tried to hit the clock, but didn't seem to register, so they had to correct that. So um, because they're using a clock that is um, that they're only using this clock because of the production, that there's an argument to be made that maybe if the clock being defective is what caused that unfortunate time sink, then maybe it would be good to correct that. But
If you weren't with us for game one between Steve Grobe and David Grimaud, David had 10 extra seconds at the end. Was a close end game. He was short on time. Perhaps thought he had hit the clock and hadn't, but the clock said 5 seconds. Our producer said that there was an issue with the clock, and he did have 10 extra. So yeah, this is second straight game here on stream that we've had a clock issue. So hopefully that doesn't become a trend as we have 15 more to play after this one. Meanwhile, AIILMNO for Annette, and like we talked about with the one in the bag situation last time, this time Annette loads of time to go over every possibility. Um, Pretty sure that there are no bingos, no sevens in those group of tilings. However, maybe concerned about what if Lisa plays Axel, AXAL, off of Oof, making Loof could perhaps get back into the game that way. So we know that the X is in the bag. So Annette will also just want to make sure that whatever she does not put her in a bad way if she draws the X. Don't think that there's too much bad that can happen to her. If she draws the X on this board, it plays very nicely on top of Fido here. So, Brian, what are you seeing in terms of what to do here? Do you just play Moyle off of Oof, making Loof, and determine that your opponent can't bingo? Do you just take the points with something like a Mina in that spot that nobody seems to be able to find underneath Arcuate there?
I would do exactly what Annette just did, which was to
Okay.
play oil now. Um, and yeah, I also want to compliment Annette on her time management in this game. Very, very Nigel-like, uh, leaving, you know, just about 10 minutes or so to think through the end game, which well, the actual end game for her will be pretty simple, it looks like here.
That is
Almost,
certainly one of the
almost bad
benefits.
backslide.
Yeah, that is certainly one of the
Very,
benefits to playing fast, and one of the reasons that I regret that I don't play fast anymore is that I like to hoard my time for the end game though, because those end games are usually complicated. You're usually trying to play through 8 different scenarios, and um, Annette has certainly played very very well this game. Really, really, I think the only misstep was missing that S hook to Calder playing the JS for 40 when she could have gotten 50 from it. I don't know if you want to call Boonier a mistake. Is it? Are you one of those that say it's always a mistake to play a phony, or if you get away with it that you did the right thing, you sized up the situation correctly?
oh no, it's this is this is a game where like I said before, you it's often a good idea to make a bluff sometimes like that, especially on the first turn. It's on the first turn, it's a good time to play a word you're not so sure of because if they challenge it off and make a play, maybe you have a better play available to you than you did with valid words on your first turn.
Right. So Lisa, having to block the XI spot up top plays late. Unfortunately, that's going to give Annette XI down below. That's going to finish this game out. And once
Yeah,
they
well,
finish, we'll go to overhead mic.
yeah, well done in that.
just confirming final scores, we have 442 to 374, and we'll be listening to them soon.
70. Well, let's see.
279. Right. Okay.
I'm sorry. 46, then 121,
Yeah. 37.
then 158,
21.
179,
Yeah. 33. 12.
or 212, or
212.
212.
Yeah.
Then
67.
oh yeah, there it is, 279. And then
Plus 33. 312.
26. Yeah. So 379.
379.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good game. Yeah. I don't know. That was a really interesting game, actually.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I wasn't sure what's right to do that, but I was falling so far behind. And
No, it makes sense. Plus, you set up a big lane too. I mean, it's kind of tough to hit it, but if you hit that with the L or something, like I was worried about you having like Exalt or something there.
right.
Because from my point of view, like you can win if you have the X.
Right.
Yeah, if you draw the X there, you have a good chance. It's a good find though. I don't know if I would have seen that. A lot of overlaps. This only takes a D, right?
I think it only takes a D.
Yeah, I don't know.
I almost didn't see that.
That was a good find too. Very good find. I don't know if it was right to burn the blank there. It's a lot of points. Not the best.
You have to burn the ball.
I think I have to, right? It's like I can't just play claw here. That's just,
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. The board was so tight too that like I didn't like it.
Yeah. Yeah, I was hoping maybe that at first, bingo with the A and something with the Indian.
I mean, it
or
definitely
something
could
like
happen.
that. Or O,
Yeah,
because I had the O at the A.
Yeah, no, I mean, I figured you were close to bingo because you kept fishing off 2, and I was like, this is probably the easiest lane for you to hit. I might have had a bingo with this. Is Monilia good without the E? No, right?
Which word?
Monilia?
Monilia.
Monilia is good. I just don't know if it's because it's 7.
Is it Monilia?
I think so. I don't know if I would have put Figure around the 2. I probably would. I would not have been sure because I would have played there before you played Goose.
All right, no mention of the phony Boonier to open. Perhaps I guess just showing how confident Lisa was that that was a word. Still talking, but hang on, I didn't go the full route. So who wore it better, the person on the left or the person on the right?
Let's hear an impression of Scooby Doo while you're at the
I
cusp.
can't. Like I said, after hearing your Rocky, I'm not gonna try to do impressions while you're sitting there. So maybe a really
You,
quick one next game if the situation arises. If one person gets out to the big lead, then the other one will be going roll. That was really bad. Sorry. All right, but on the whole, a really well played game. A couple of missteps early by Lisa, letting the phony on and missing modifier. But other than that, I thought it was a very well played game by both players. And again, both of our games kind of show the uniqueness that Scrabble can provide. First game combined 1 bingo, and that game had a combined 4 bingos.
yes, indeed, and much different board dynamics as we
Yeah.
discussed. What do we have next up for us, Jason?
So we have a couple directors. Peter Schwartzman, who is also the mayor of Galesburg, Illinois, and has run tournaments there, as well as Andy Wong, who has run tournaments in the Virginia slash North Carolina area. Both excellent players as well. So I will leave that up to we can do a short break. Or Brian, is there anything that you want to plug? We can also fill a couple minutes here if you want to fill us in on what's happening in your world.
Uh, Well, I just played a tournament in Lexington, Kentucky, um, and it was very well run by Fred Moreland, who I met for the first time. And I hope I can, you know, come back to some more tournaments that he runs. Um, and I, I guess I can brag. I finished second in my division, although I was the second seed, so I suppose it was expected. But in that sense, but um, other than that, my next tournament planned is the Crescent City Cup in New Orleans um, on Martin Luther King weekend. How about you, Jason? What's the next tournament you're hoping to go to?
Yeah, so technically I played a tournament last weekend too. I was co-directing. And I had a side Collins session since there was no Collins division with Quinn James, who's in the chat. So just like you, I technically finished second in a tournament last weekend. However, that was second in a two-person division. Quinn cleaned my clock pretty good for the vast majority of six games. So we have that in common. We both finished second in a tournament last weekend. You in a division of probably eight or so, and me in a division of two. So while we're waiting for Peter and Andy to get ready, haven't done a lot of thank yous yet. I did mention Art Moore. We didn't see him that last game, but we saw it a couple times in that first game. WordJudge.me. Also want to shout out Steve Sagan of VDO Ninja. He's a provider of streaming tech that powers our streams. We're using that today to share to screen share between us. So many thanks to Steve. You can see that tile bag there. Thanks to Sarah Rosenbaum of Cozy Tiles for creating those custom Let's Play Scrabble tile bags. As well as George Bissonette of George's Custom Scrabble boards. He has made the LPS board. I don't know if we want to shout out the clockmaker given the clock issues that we've had. So I'm sure it's not his fault. I'm sure it's not his fault. Um,
Um, did you mention if you did, we'll just mention again. Thank you to WGPO for the $5,000 donation to the prize pool in this tournament they're running, WGPO, Word Player, Word, wait, WGPO, Word Game Players Organization. There we go.
Thank you very much
Shout out
for
to them as well.
mentioning. I had been lax in not mentioning their support of this. I also love that they call it, the Midwest Major. I love when tournaments kind of have that designation. We kind of used to have that in Scrabble, where certain tournaments were kind of considered major tournaments, and I love the fact that Word Game Players Organization is bringing that back. So yeah, you asked me about my next tournament before doing commentary, and I really don't know. I don't have anything planned for the rest of the year. We do have some upcoming LPS streams that if I don't play those tournaments that I would be interested in. I know the next tournament that I'll be watching will be Westpac, the de facto World Championship. That is coming up quick. Less than 2 weeks from now, that starts. Um, Also, an American Thanksgiving on November 29th. I don't know what your plans are for Thanksgiving, Brian, but if you have maybe a mixed political family or something, you're trying to get them to behave, maybe throw on a Scrabble stream there. As Matt Canick said last time, nobody can misbehave during a Scrabble stream. Then the Scrabble Holiday Party, December 12th through 14th in Belleville, Ontario. And then the annual Albany New Year's tournament, December 30th through January 3rd, 2026. Hard to still kind of doesn't feel that we're on the cusp of 2026, but here we are.
Yeah. Well, to answer your question, I don't know what Thanksgiving is. I only celebrate Blanksgiving personally.
Maybe I should start celebrating Thanksgiving, and then I'll draw more of them.
Well, uh, well, if you celebrate Blanksgiving, does that mean you're giving blanks to your opponent or what? Hmm.
Man, this is
Well,
This is too big a philosophical discussion for this late at night. So let's looks like we have both players
Let's
ready.
go
So
for it.
let's preview the next game, starting with Peter Schwartzman, as it says there from Galesburg, not just from Galesburg, Illinois, but as I mentioned before, the mayor of Galesburg, Illinois. 1800 exactly. Played 85 tournaments. It feels like more. It feels like he has been around a while. He's had some periods of inactivity though. Um, Very impressive. Any win percentage above 50% is very impressive, with an average score of 400 to 391. And again, runs a few tournaments in Galesburg, Illinois each year. Then Andy Wong, 1859, exactly 1,300 wins. And boy, as young as he is, it's hard to believe he's played 187 tournaments. But again, I know that he runs a bunch of one days in Virginia and North Carolina, depending on. I believe he goes to the University of Virginia, so I think he runs a bunch of one days in Charlottesville when he's not home. But yeah, hard to believe I think he's only in his 20s to 187 tournaments is quite impressive, and 66 career winning percentage. That is also very impressive, along with an average score of 420 to 376. Average game when you're winning by 44. That career head
And
to
I
head 2
believe
to 1
Andy,
in favor of Peter. They played twice in what appears to be the same weekend in Charlottesville in December of 2024. But in the last one, Andy got some revenge back by the national championship. Look at those winning scores: 485, 542, 526. Hopefully, we will see something like that in this game. Although those losing scores, none of those games particularly close, besides the first one with a spread of 51. Peter will be going first in this game, so I got to clear out the last game, and let's play Scrabble.
yes, let's. I was going to say, I believe Andy had the most tournaments played in a recent year. So that will certainly um, run up your your total tournament.
Yeah, I think
You're
what he
there?
does is he'll do like a weekend, like he'll have a one day on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I think a lot of those tournaments are one days, but he has also, I know, put up some impressive performances in multi-day tournaments. So the
Oh,
blank
golly,
on Peter's opening rack,
golly gee, look at that.
or in this case, Golly M, as those are the six tiles without the blank. Looks like you might be considering Gloomly. However, you do need the I to make Gloomily. So this is one of those go second racks. You'd love to go second, see an O or an I from your opponent slap down Gloomily, but instead no bingos. So it'll be interesting to see here. Will Peter take the bait and try something that is no good, or will he just take his best equity play by playing Golly or Molly?
Well, he's shuffling now. I believe he has decided against that long shot of Gloomly being valid or accepted. So it looks like he's considering Molly or Golly.
I feel like I'm very bad on these turns, like spending 5 minutes looking for the bingo that isn't there. Do you feel like you spend the appropriate amount of time looking before you give up on an opening rack like this, or do you feel like you maybe don't look hard enough, or maybe you're like me and you look too hard?
Well, given that I normally, if I'm lucky, have 2 minutes to think over my last two turns, I would say I do not do a good job of managing my time in these early turns. But I'm hoping to get better at that. So, yeah, sometimes you just have to give up the search. But it can be hard when you're on stream, you know. So please, um, chat to you, if you could please be forgiving for the missteps that our players might make. It's tough to play on stream.
I was gonna say that's basically the last item on my Scrabble bucket list is I still have not participated in a stream game, so I definitely want to go out to a Let's Play Scrabble tournament soon, so I can check that off the list. But this is 100% not the kind of opening rack that I would want. Like, give me an opening rack like Andy's, where I can just play QI and leave fresh and move on with my day. But this is going to be a really interesting one. He's going to play Molly, but he's going to take the 2 point sacrifice to play it to the left instead of the right, not wanting to slot the O. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, 2 point sacrifice for a little defense. Yeah, I don't mind that. I think I would have slightly preferred Golly to get rid of the G, which is a worse tile than many others, including the M, but not a big deal.
I was going to say, so we talked about the point sacrifice playing it left versus right. Also, maybe an even further sacrifice to play Gali instead of Molly. Andy playing what is really his only play here, dumping QI underneath the M for 25.
Yeah, yeah, just definitely don't want to spend too much time on an easy decision like that. So good job. And then
So
he's
now
giving that
Peter is,
guy a good shake as he always
yeah,
does.
Peter has traded one teaser rack for another here. AEE GHV. Again, no playable bingos, so he will have to deduce that and then deduce what his best play is, and not having an eye to take cheap points underneath QI. Any non-bingo plays that stand out to you here, Brian?
Um, yeah, I mean, I don't love any of the available plays. I just, I think just something like Gave, uh, getting rid of the V and the G, and arguably the duplicate E is something you would want to get rid of. Um, just score 22 points and hope to bingo in the near future with that blank. Um, I suppose, to be honest, I would be, you know, um, spending some time trying to find a bingo that isn't there. But, after giving up on that at some point, Gave looks good to me.
Yeah, the only I think Gave is right. I think Gave is the best play. The only downside of Gave is that you're blocking both of your L's. I feel like every time you make a play like that, at least that's what's happening to me recently, is that then you draw some sort of 8 through the L and you don't have a 7, and you hate yourself for blocking your own bingo. It looked like he had heavage, HEAVAGE. I don't even know if that's a word. I don't think it is, but regardless, not something that is going to play on this board.
Right. And we have a very important poll in chat. I would like
We
everyone
do.
to participate in that. Yes, we critical question.
What do you think Brian is best at managing? His clock, his commentary career, his Halloween costume, or his mustache? Well, you've said that if we were to rank those, that it sounds like your clock would be at the bottom. But the other three, I think, are very much on point. But I'm very impressed by the stash, so I'm going to vote for that.
Yeah, it's seems to be winning in a landslide. No surprise. Okay, he's playing Gabe, like I
So
suggested
taking about
for him.
6 minutes for the first two turns, which is unideal, but both were very complicated, and in both, it looks like he made, if not the exact perfect decision, something very close in each case. So. Neither player really put a foot wrong so far as we go to Andy, who the downside of drawing into fresh is when you draw two consonants, your rack looks like this. And as you can see, no really open vowels to play with. So he
Yeah,
can.
that's the sorry.
Nope. No,
I
no,
was
no.
just
Go
going to
on.
say that's the thing about the blank. Sometimes it could be, it's obviously the best tile, and we always want to draw the blanks, and we want our opponent to celebrate blanks giving by giving us the blanks, um, because they're so valuable. But sometimes they can be a little bit of a curse because of the fact that they give you so many possibilities, and that can cause you to spend a lot of your time, sorting through those.
Yeah, and then perhaps not leave yourself time for a close end game. So, Andy had fresh setup, which played for 39 underneath Peter's previous play. So, also, I guess you could also maybe play Resh in that same spot and set up the F, although that seems perhaps a little bit too gutsy. So he will take the 39 with fresh,
Yeah,
and this one at least definitely does not have a bingo. BB and the F.
yeah,
So
and
Peter's just gonna play Ebb. Could have played Ebb on top of Molly, but this placement is fine. Keeps your only vowel. Uh,
I do like that he spent very little time on that decision. That's what he needs to do now. Um, I guess I do have to criticize Andy for not playing Arch, just because I'm from St. Louis and I love seeing the Arch. But other than that, Thresh was a good play.
so that F staying open. Ceirtw for Andy. What does that give him through that F? Does give him Whiff Deer, which seems to be his star play. Ryan, do you give any thought to fishing off the W and the I between the L and the E of Molly and Gave, playing a word that I still, having seen for 15 years, don't know how to pronounce, an LWEI, or do you take the points with Whiff Deer?
Wow. Um, yeah, I think yeah, that's a good question. I think Whip Deer is just too many points to give up. Plus, in reality, I'm not seeing LWEI, even though I know it.
Yeah, I think maybe on some boards you could even then it would be hard to justify giving up 31 points just to leave potently. CEIRT is a very good leave, but on this board I don't think it's really going to go much of anywhere, especially when you block the AH by playing LWEI. So really the question for Andy on this turn is, will he find Whiff Deer? Because I don't think there's anything else using that F that hits the triple. So if he doesn't see Whiftier, this will be certainly a big equity loss here.
Yeah, and also I have to apologize. Not only would I not see LWEI, I would not see Whip Deer, let's be honest. But uh, yeah, if he doesn't find that, I won't blame him. Um, so if you're not seeing either of these tough to spot plays, what could we expect? Oh, he finds it. Very good. Very
Yeah, no
impressive.
surprise. Andy is a great player. I would have been more surprised if to see him miss it than I would have to see him spot it. So,
True. He is knocking on the door of the top 20 in North America.
and Peter just keeps finding tiles with crooked numbers at the bottom of them to go with his blanks. So, again, nice job playing quickly. Could have played G for 25 on top of Molly, but instead he will play FE instead. Always frustrating. You get that blank on the opening rack. You're like, all right, I'm gonna take control of this game. I'm gonna get an early lead. But instead, it's Andy who really hasn't drawn much, but has had a lot better timing taking the early lead.
Yeah, so he's got a bit of a consonant problem here, and not seeing any way to play through a vowel, like, except, I mean, you could play call or something like that through that L and E for just a few points to clean up your rack a bit, but ooh,
Yeah,
yeah,
the reason you're not seeing
anything
a good
could
play
happen.
is because there really isn't one to see.
Yeah, yeah,
LAC does have the L hook for gavel, so he could play LAC or LAP there. Um, Could also play Ply, Ply to the Y in Mali if he wanted to keep his lone vowel. Those are all very nice leaves, but again, after I guess after you play Lap, you've and Lac, you've set up S hooks, but not a great board shaping up right now. So that's why, even though it's not appearing very highly, statically, I kind of like your play of caller. It turns over. It gives you a chance. Two blanks still unseen. We know that Peter has one. Opens up that S at the bottom. And PST is a really nice leave. So he's got trap set up on his rack, and this turn could certainly be a time trap.
Yeah, yeah. These are the toughest turns in terms of clock usage when you just are looking and looking and looking for a good play, but it's just not there. So he'll just have to um, pick the lesser of the evils here at some point.
I think most people know this, but Wiftier does not take the S. I feel like at some point that will come into existence. That Swifties will debate about which of them is a bigger fan and therefore Swiftier than the other. But as of right now, no Swiftier in the book. It would be so nice to just plunk that S there for what looks to be 48. Um, no, maybe 42. But unfortunately, that is not an option. So.
Well, it's an option,
That is,
but
that's
risky
true.
one.
Any tiles we put on the board that make words real or otherwise are an option. So among the top choices here, Brian, do you with the help of looking at the engine, do you still like your caller suggestion, or is there something that you like better here?
Ugh, I don't like anything. Uh,
That is the correct answer, by the way. There's not much to like about this turn.
yeah, yeah. I suppose black is okay. 17 points. Keep a good leave for a leave that's four consonants. Oh, look at that. That might be the most interesting board we've seen so far.
Okay. Any comments on this board topology, Mr. Math Professor or teacher? What is your official title?
Yeah, Doctor Math. Yeah,
Okay.
thank you. Well, I don't know. I thought I hallucinated the swiftiest board I've ever seen there, but it went away.
That'll be hard to top
Unfortunately.
as the swiftiest board ever. That board is certainly swiftier than any I've ever seen before.
Yeah. Well, if you like Swifty boards, please like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. It would help this channel a lot if you just click that like button so that more more videos can be seen, gain more exposure to this great community and this great channel.
It looks like Peter has Jive set up. I think he wants to play Jivey to that Y in Molly. It'll score. It'll get rid of two of his worst bingo tiles. But now that Andy has given him the E hook, he will play Jive underneath, sacrificing a couple points. Really good question in the chat from Noah Slatkoff as to how often you're supposed to win a game in which your opening rack contains a blank. I think the guess of 50-50 is probably right because I think, I mean, it's probably a little bit more than that, but at the same time, I feel like, we've all had games like Peter where the blank is pretty much growing roots over there. And
Well, I mean, um, I just have to put this out there since it came up. Like, you know, every probability actually is 50-50 because the event either happens or it doesn't. So uh, you can take that to the bank because uh, I have a PhD in math, specializing in probability, in fact. So um, so yeah,
So just remember, if
definitely
you want to
it's
play
a
the lottery
50-50.
tonight, you have
Yeah,
a math teacher. All right. Meanwhile, this is interesting because Andy with 7 consonants exchanged. Peter has Zenith blank set up on his rack. However, from the C, he has chintzes, making the blank an S. Will he see that? So put Andy's exchange in here. Zenith blank for Peter. Oh, he also does have zenithal to the L's in Molly. Obviously, a far inferior bingo to chintzes as it throws the Z out in that triple line just a couple of singles after it'll score 36, which is more than you want to give back. But he does have Zenith blank set up. Um, is it possible that oh and then Andy has strength minus the H. And
he's
neither of these
circling the
placements are
blank.
going to give him strength. So oh, that's going to be so tilting when the H comes out and it's not where he needs it to be.
Can we get a blank cam? Is it an A?
It will be an yes,
It's
sir.
an A.
Only thing it can be. Or Andy really has no choice but to play Zen off of that Z. Well, it looks like he might be holding this play first, so. Signethal is a word, we will commit that. Give Peter his 187 to 123 lead.
Has anyone in chat ever played chintzes before?
Oh, that is a good question.
Ooh, got the close up. Look at that struggle.
Yeah, a little surprised
Is
that Andy hasn't
zenithal
seen
a
this one.
word? I don't like it, he's saying.
About as high prob a bingo as you're going to get with the Z. It's also, even though it's painful to part with your vowel, so easy to just plunk the en off of it, score 36. You know, if you challenge and you're wrong and you give him free reign. Not sure if this is a
Plus,
courtesy
yeah, the
draw or a released hold yet.
oh yeah,
Oh,
he's
Gittern through the
bumped up
eye.
his
I think
window, so that's yeah.
that might be what keeps it on if he's not sure.
I feel like you have to play the bingo that was just opened up for you.
But if you're not sure of Zenithal and you think your opponent, if you challenge your opponent's going to take the Z, which is going to happen a lot of the time, then Gitterns is still going to be available for you.
Hmm, good point.
So yeah, it certainly looks like he's still because I mean I feel like as soon as he releases, he's going to play Gitterns. So I think the fact that he hasn't played Gitterns yet means that this is still a hold. Like I said, I'm not sure how Andy studies. I know his word knowledge, you know, for being as highly rated as it is impeccable. I'm surprised he hasn't seen this one before. I think. Oh, I thought I was reaching for the clock to challenge,
It
perhaps
might
just a
be,
scoring discrepancy.
I think so. Hopefully he wasn't spending all that time trying to count up the score of the play. Jason, do we have another game after this one tonight, or
No,
are we ending
I think this is our
musical?
last one tonight.
Oh, well,
I
that's
think
too
three
bad.
tonight, then eight tomorrow, and 6 on Sunday.
I'm looking forward to those next two streams. Okay, he plays get turns. Catches up.
It's
One
actually lucked out
score.
that this post bingo draw will not hit that Z too terribly hard. The two U's and the X. I am correct that his only play using that Z is Z for 39, and I think given the danger of that spot, you probably just have to play it. Or are you playing Doxy, hooking the D to make laced and keeping two U's, or are you seeing something else here?
Whew. Uh, yeah, Doxy scores 37, but leaves that Z open. Um,
It leaves the Z open but draws two U's. It does open up another hotspot, kind of the theory being my
true.
opponent will take one, I'll take the other. But drawing into two
Yes.
U's, there's no guarantee that you're going to use that newly created hotspot. So I feel like once I start simming this, Z will jump up pretty quick.
Yeah, let's see what it says. There's nothing worse than keeping two U's that you can't use.
The other option is to block the Z spot by playing exit to that second T in Gitterns. However, again, that leave of DOUU is not doing anything good for you in the short term.
I'm seeing the simulation likes Z. No surprise. Score 39 and take away that big spot. Hope to
Yeah,
use the
does
X.
that have any 5-tile front extensions? Are there any of those that exist?
Oh, are you asking me? Let's ask chat. Chat, what's your
I'm asking
favorite?
I'm asking sarcastically. I would love to I should look up exactly how many 5-tile extensions there are. It would not surprise me if it's over 100.
Yeah, chat, tell me what's your favorite five-letter extension of Z?
There we go. Good question. Good question for chat there. So we praised Peter's clock management earlier in this game, but taking a lot of time on this turn when Zed seemed pretty obvious from the start. He has now put it on the board and taken it off the board. So
Oh, that's a Brian move right there. We definitely appreciate that. Oh, is he thinking of Doxy now?
yeah, not sure where the DO would go on this board.
Yeah, I'm just imagining that he's thinking of that X being in between the DO and IE, but he's playing Z.
Perhaps what he was thinking, I forgot that the DOX edition, if you play Jew off of Lace, you set up your XU, you're going to score 50 with it next turn. But again, what's your opponent going to
Uh,
score? Z.
and yeah, yeah, that's interesting. It looks very fishy. Looks very much like a next setup or some type of setup doing that. But like you said, with that other big spot being open, maybe it makes sense. Okay, so we
Andy
see a
playing,
quick play from Andy.
yeah, Andy playing Awa on top of Gitterns there, setting up his P, leaving PEIS a lot of the time he's going to draw a 5 up there. And meanwhile, Peter back to having a blank and trash. Blank
Thank you.
IOUUAX. Play Koi underneath, making Art NO and SI. He can play Oik, putting the K on the other side of the OI. Um, Brian, are either of those plays worth it to you, or are you exchanging here?
Ooh, well, This is the correct score, yeah? 226 to 193.
It is not the correct score. I don't have Andy's play in.
Oh,
There it
oh, so
is.
well, so he's still up by 10 at the moment, and then Coy would score 27. Um, put some pressure on Andy. But at the same time, you're keeping you, but you got the blank also. Uh, yeah, I'm just taking 27 and hoping for the best on my future turns.
Only downside, as you can see up there, 20 vowels and 21 consonants, leaving two vowels and that X. You could get bogged down in more racks like this in the short term. However, you look at and most of the clunky tiles have been put on the board already. Both of the V's, both of the F's, both of the B's. So looking from Peter's point of view, that remaining pool does look very bingo prone, and indeed Andy has epigons and pigeons set up, as well as pingos. I don't think either of those are going to play anywhere on this board. But that's also
Yes,
part of the decision for Peter here. He does have koi set up.
yeah, as
Does he
Noah
know that
Stackhouse
that will
pointed
just
out in the chat.
enhance?
Sorry,
No, no,
Noah
go.
Stackhouse pointed out in the chat that Koi is a bit difficult to stomach, as he puts it, with that with that big triple letter score on top of arc being there. Could could potentially be a a place for a big high scoring play by Andy. Although we know that's not going to happen. He's
It's turning into blank OX. Normally I would like that, but not with six O's out there. Oh, that's where Epigons goes. Oh, dear me.
oh yes, yes, that scores, wow, scores very well.
As I like to say, that's going to score about a million.
Yep.
Slight exaggeration, 99.
So it would have
And
scored just
that's why I didn't like
fine.
leaving the O with the X there. Two vowel heavy a pull to do that. Obviously very unlucky to have pulled four vowels after throwing away U U I K. Um, Andy did give him a nice place to play Oxo though underneath Epigons there. But the board is going to look pretty junky afterward. You do have the blank though.
Peter can take solace in the fact that he didn't give Andy 5 extra points there with the, by playing the K under
That
the
is a good point.
what would be Park. Yeah.
Yeah, Epicon still plays
Uh,
after Koi.
hey, let's give Andy his points. Let's see the change. Three. Yeah, there we go. 315. Oh, he's whoa.
I was going to
Okay.
save the X and just play OE to block the spot up there.
What do you think of that?
Oof. Maybe there's something specific he's fishing for from the sea. Maybe coaxials.
Well, he's not going to be happy to see this come down. Outpack.
I actually don't think he'll mind it that much because outpack is not a word.
Ah,
And given this game situation, he almost certainly has to check this.
true.
Once the score for OE comes in there, Andy's ahead by 75. If you let this go, you basically have. I do not see a win comeback for you here.
Can we get the close up on Peter as he
He's muttering
considers
to himself.
whether or not to challenge?
Yeah,
Yes.
been there, saying the word to yourself, outpack, to surpass in packing. And
He's
he's going to
checking
check
it.
it. So that's his way back into this game. This will come back no good as we go to the wordjudge.me challenge cam. Thanks again to Art Moore. Peter, once that comes off, and then I think had courtesy tiles been drawn?
I think so.
Yeah.
Let's find
Okay.
out.
Just not sure what the delay in restarting the clock is here. Okay, Andy's just gotta.
Just that floating
Take
P. We don't see that too often on the board. Okay.
Now, if you're Peter, those plays that you had last turn, that I think we were surprised that he passed on, are still essentially available. Oh, maybe that's why he played OE.
Oh, I see.
Did anybody in the chat find this,
Wow.
or
I think so. I think it's been mentioned.
has it been mentioned? Okay, I'm not seeing it, but the star play of Oxidized, OXI blank DIZED for 72. But I feel like if he had fished for it, he would be playing it now.
Hmm.
Peter is a remarkably clever player. I mean, there had to be something behind that OE, and I don't know if it was oxidized or something specific that he was fishing for.
It looks like we can confirm that he was not thinking of oxidized as he puts down X.
It's still not over yet. Axe is going to get him within 35. He does have the blank. Um, there's still Z extensions available. There's still bingos available, and oh, that's a really nice play from Andy there. Probably didn't notice that he was setting him up for kaput for 43. Very nice spot there.
Yeah, very nice find. So Andy uses the K that Peter put back in that same spot.
That is interesting. Not often you see an exchange tile like that. However, as you can see, perhaps Peter playing the long game here, giving Andy kaput
Wow.
for the T for
Wow.
Tenuoid. He would rather play Oxidized instead of playing Tenuoid for 62, opening up a bunch. So he had. This is weird. This
Wow.
is going to be an interesting postmortem to listen to. I can just tell already.
He's playing oxidized now with a blank X.
Did he see it? Maybe it was blank blindness. Maybe he needed to have the D on his rack to see it.
Maybe, yeah.
Weird game.
Or what does that put us
358
at
for
now?
Andy, 340 for Peter,
Interesting.
and it certainly looks like this one will be coming down to the end. Andy with I believe he has a playable bingo here. ALENCON. And indeed, that does play on top of the Y in Mali, as well as Anconial from the A in Lace, but he will play the 6, and given the copious amounts of vowels that Peter is drawing, that should do it for this one, pretty much.
Okay, so this one is a word, yeah. Unlike outpack, which he fooled me with earlier.
I honestly wasn't sure myself, but again, given the game situation, that was one that was basically going to be challenged every time.
Yeah.
So, Peter, when he looks at this pool, the bad news is that he has a bunch of vowels, but the good news is that there aren't that many more vowels to draw, just the two O's and the two U's. 4 vowels and 9 consonants unseen to Peter. Does have the D hook for lace, does have the C to bingo from, 2 C's to bingo from. Both of the C's are available, as well as 2 N's if he can somehow draw into a bingo that starts in N. Very unlikely that both of those will be blocked. Are you seeing a way to fish for a bingo here and get yourself back in the game? Because I am not.
Um, What do you think, chat? What would you do here? They're doing a great job of finding finding the plays here so far. Have at it with this one, please.
Yeah, Chad is pretty good at that. So Peter's got his rack covered up right now, but we know that that is audio with an AE.
Yeah,
So the
he's
problem with this is that you have to
sparing us the
score enough.
pain.
Yeah, you have to score enough so that when you get the bingo, it actually scores enough to win the game, which is a problem when you're down 84 and you have no scoring tiles. You just take the top equity play, just play audio through the G in Gitterns. It's going to score 21. It's going to keep your D to hook if you find something starting with that letter.
Sure. What are their records? Haven't we had two games so far?
That's true.
I
I
see
never
one
mentioned
and
that we did Annette Oberstad, Lisa Odom last game. I think they were, as luck would have it, 1-2 after round one.
so do we know
So actually,
what their
Peter,
records
Peter
are
and Andy
total?
were 1-2 after round one. So that's why I'm not sure
Oh,
if that's why they
I'm
got
sorry.
paired for this game or not.
No,
But I'm not.
I'm talking about
Yeah,
their tournament record so far. Um, it's showing 1-0 for each, even though we've played two games. Um, so I'm wondering what their win-loss record actually is. It looks like the website doesn't say either.
it looks like round two scores aren't in yet for some reason. So
Okay. Um, I mean, it's early in the tournament anyway. Um, so gotta do the best you can to win the game, yeah.
yeah, Peter playing Kodia, which does have the advantage of leaving one tile in the bag, kind of limits what Andy can do. However, Andy sitting on that case S. Kodia was a nice way to open an S spot. Unfortunately, didn't draw it. He drew a bingo actually. He drew out Roar, but that is not going to go anywhere on this board. So Andy, Durumns. Is this? Can you afford to play Mud underneath the bingo of Alencon, or are you not? Is there something that can be had from the D? Would help if I updated the score in the unseen tile pool. There we go. I don't think there's going to be anything from the D with those tiles.
Uh, it's tough to, yeah, tough to make that kind of decision. Um, Sometimes I don't even trust myself that I've done my tracking correctly and everything. Um, to be confident enough to make a play that opens up a bit, but um, doesn't actually afford your opponent any bingos in this situation. I would probably just play it safe
I'm
and
I'm I'm with you. As it turns out, there is nothing from the D possible in this pool, but I'm not opening up anything. I'll certainly sacrifice a little bit of spread to give myself peace of mind. Outroar and Oratory, the only possible sevens here. Fortunately for Andy, he has all sorts of hooks to lace. He's got the D, he's got the R, he's got the S. You could get cutesy and play maybe Rum and Lacer, knowing that you have the case S, and it will force him to block. But again, you are opening the potential for some sort of seven that starts TO or something like that. So again, uh, maybe the right idea, but maybe not the time to pull the trigger on that.
yeah, but I realize that, yeah, I've been talking about what I would do, but yeah, we should keep in mind that Andy, being a top player, does have the ability to go through all the possibilities and know that his opponent has no options in these scenarios.
I feel like
Yeah,
the greats, the Nigels, like they play rum here. They set up the S. They know that there's nothing
yeah.
that the opponent can have, and that the opponent's going to have to waste a turn blocking. And Andy does have it set up, so maybe he has the trust in his word knowledge to look at those 8 tiles, look at the board, say, okay, there's nothing he can possibly have, no out bingos, and I'm going to try to make use of this S.
So just a bit of a callback to the egg discussion earlier. I would say the main reason that that is a meme within Scrabble is standing in the background behind Andy right now in the light blue shirt there.
Oh, okay. Who is? I can't tell who that is.
That's Eric Smith, known
Oh,
as
okay.
WTF, etc. on on Twitch.
I've certainly done enough streaming to know who Erickson Smith is. So
And I see my friend Elise in the background. She and I have been playing a lot in person lately as she has moved to St. Louis recently.
okay, Elise, what's her last name?
Bickford.
Okay, I thought I'd associated her with the East Coast. I didn't realize that she was in your neck of the woods.
Yeah, she's a fellow Midwesterner. I believe she's from Iowa.
Okay, I did see her name on the Westpac list of those representing America.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
perhaps we will see her on the other side as a player on stream as Westpac begins. I believe November 12th is the date, and so thrilled for our producer Josh Greenway and everybody else involved with Let's Play Scrabble that LPS will be the home for streaming for Westpac. That is such a big coup and such a recognition of the great work that Josh Greenway and Josh Koff and everybody else has done behind the scenes. So while we're waiting for Andy, a few more thank yous before so I don't backload them all after everybody's logged off once this last game. I mean, obviously we have to thank all of you who are watching. Uh, Andy does play Rum here with the S setup. Very
Yes.
nice and very clever. So I'll hold off on the thank yous while we see how Peter is going to block that S setup.
Yeah, I also want to extend my thanks to everyone watching and providing your insight in chat. For those of you who haven't already, please click that like button and consider subscribing to the channel. And if you want to be like me, become a fellow super friend of the channel.
Yeah, explain what that is. For there's that little join button, as you can see at the bottom there, right next to the Let's Play Scrabble. So what does that entail? And what does that get you?
Well, it lets you have a nice little symbol next to your name and have it be highlighted in chat, and just lets you be able to call yourself a super friend of this great channel and support Josh Greenway in his efforts to bring Scrabble to a wider audience. I'm just happy to support this channel with my $5 a month.
Yes, we appreciate that. I need to get on that. I don't think that I am. I have to double check and see if I am a super friend or not. But even if you don't have $5 a month, totally understandable. You can certainly help us in other ways by supporting our streams and telling your Scrabble friends and your non-Scrabble friends. There have been people who have been getting into tournament Scrabble through streaming, not screaming. No screaming at Scrabble tournaments, and I love hearing
Well,
those stories.
maybe today. Maybe some screaming today on Halloween. Thanks everyone for
Yeah, did
interrupting
we
your
have? I
good
don't remember
your
seeing a good Halloween word.
anything on this board? I don't want to make any comments about Molly. Um, oh, good point, producer. Yeah, we'll reveal my costume if we can get 40 likes for this video. Then you get to know who I dressed up as. It's a pretty obscure character, but
There we go. That's a tease.
it's
That's
not that.
that's a
It's not that. It's not Luigi. Yeah, thank you.
well, Andy. Oh, you didn't see it. It was one of those where Peter actually didn't block the S because story. We all know that high prob bingo
Ah,
Stourie, but Stoury is good. So when he picked up the SY, I thought he was going to play it, but Sin instead is the play, and
goodness
Peter's
me.
going to go out with Or, and this, like I said, should be an interesting postmortem. So let's cut to overhead Mike.
390.
474.
Yeah.
Very well done.
Good job there.
Nice job. That was one of the more interesting games I've ever played. It's just crazy.
I mean, I'm 99% sure I've never seen this.
Okay.
Is this a word?
I think so. Yeah. Not a minute.
I really can't challenge it because you have chintzes here.
Yeah. I mean, I have other words I thought, so I played it, but I mean, I should have found chintzes. I know that word better. And it would have been safer, maybe a little, well,
I mean,
a little bit safer.
well, I think it's interesting because even if this is not a word, I think it is. It might be in my favor just to let you keep it and play my bingo because I couldn't effectively block chintzes.
I had two U's in my rack at that time, and my draw was crazy. I was trying to set up I had an X too. I was trying to set up my X, and then of course I put an X, and then I drew this. But I had a bingo through like this, but it's right here. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's better to keep it a little.
What did you have, like tonified or something?
I had T and A.
Oh. Wow, that's interesting. Yeah, this is about the same number of points, and it doesn't give back so much because this. I don't think. This
But it
takes
still
an S.
keeps this there, which is
Yeah, I think
threatening.
you gotta close that.
But well, not if I'm trying to come back. I'm trying to come back. I want to keep the board.
I guess so.
Open.
So maybe bingoing is the move there.
I mean, this is my only consonant. I mean, it blocks everything. It's not the best. I mean, I suspect it's not the best play. It
The pool
blocks all
wasn't.
the.
I mean,
And
the
then
pool wasn't
this is the
very
only line, and that's an X line. That's not going to
Yeah,
work.
it's not gonna-
I mean, I had to hope to draw an S.
Yeah.
Kind of. That's where I was going with that. I mean, I drew and I also had this line, I guess. But
Yeah.
I drew a bingo. I had Outlaw,
Yeah, I saw that
but
at the end after that.
I
I saw you didn't have any bingos, so
the first play of the game, I had a G blank,
Molly G blank.
like gloomily.
I might have played golly.
Yeah, well, I
Like
had a
golly
blank
there, keeping MS
and blank.
and blank. Yeah, and blank.
You think you should keep the M? I thought the
I
G
like-
just
I
because
like-
I have ING. If I get
Yeah,
higher than that,
I like the M better than the G.
for the bingos. But is gloomily?
Gloomily.
Gloomily is.
Gloomily. I would probably challenge gloomily. That doesn't sound
So
like
that
a word.
was, and then of course I just drew some other stuff. Helvage or Shelvage. I couldn't remember because I had bingos through that L. When I played this, I don't know. I think definitely being on stream was affected mine. But I was
think
thinking,
it always does,
and probably more so with the kind of tiles I had. I had some tough racks early on, and I just couldn't hold them. But this was a perfect play. I mean, I could have played my KOI here, but then you still have it. It doesn't block it.
Yeah, I kept the PBIS on display, and it's like there's not many letters like the J is gone, so really
I set this door to lock as soon as you guys are finished. That way, all of your stuff will be safe. If somebody just wants to flip the lights,
this, and I was thinking like I might not draw bingo. I might pull into just a nice P
you
word.
guys have a great evening, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Okay.
I was trying to block it, but I had a K and two U's.
No, two U's, yeah, you gotta.
What did I do? Did I exchange? Yeah, I did exchange. Which was weird because I left this open. But I figured.
No, you gotta play that.
Oh, I did play that. Yeah, okay, but I was trying to set up my X, so I figured if I set up my X like here, or well, here I could have, but I couldn't figure out whether to set it up because if you take that spot, I need to go there.
Yeah.
So it kind of balances out. But I mean, this is a great draw.
Yeah, that was.
I mean, and a nice find.
What did I keep? Oh, I kept CO and I pulled into that. Yeah, that was pretty fortunate. Yeah.
Oh, you had two ends?
No, I had. Remember, you challenged off out pack, which was a good challenge. I played this. I wasn't going to play that because I know this doesn't take an S. So I was comfortable playing that.
Does it take a T?
Yeah, it takes a second T.
Right. So I was going to play a T there, but you blocked it.
Yeah.
Anyway, excellent game.
Yeah.
I'll have a lot to learn. I mean, I'm very curious to how this, I'm sure I missed some things. And, that's the way it goes.
All right, so very interesting postmortem. That is why I mute myself, because when Andy said, I've never seen this word before, and Peter just responded with, okay. It was just such a great reaction. But yeah, Peter touching on a lot of interesting things about that game. Was certainly a very interesting game. One worthy of stream, and said that being on stream did kind of affect him a little bit. I'm sure he'll watch this later, and I'm curious that they didn't talk a little bit more about Oxidized. I'll be curious exactly when he saw that. But yeah, very interesting game, and three very different games, but each interesting in their own way. A fun way to kick off the Midwest Major.
Yeah, and I also appreciate the Midwestern friendliness after each game, taking some time to discuss the options throughout. We had three pretty nice post-mortem discussions. Quite a difference from when you see Nigel Richards games, huh?
I was gonna say, because this is my first time in one of my first times in the anchor seat, and getting to decide when we switch away from the postmortem. It's like, I feel like every other time I've done this, we've switched away from the postmortem really quickly. But that's like, well, they've also been shorter postmortems. So I also figure you probably want to hear the players talk about the game instead of me, because you've probably already heard me enough. So.
All right, so I think we're ready to reveal my costume. So the background is I've been going to an MMA gym recently, and the owner has kept saying that I look like this cartoon character. He's from the show Pinky Malinky, and he's the dad. There we go.
He looks like the love child of you and Bob Ross, I feel like.
Oh wow, if only there were such a thing. Oh, wow, this world would be such a much better place. Yeah, thank you, producer, for finding that image. Sorry, I don't have the coffee mug. That's not really a central part of his character. It just happens to be what he's holding in this most findable photo of him online. And it looks like he's joining us in the commentary booth. We had to say bye to Jason and bring my twin on instead. Yeah, and actually at this Halloween party, I had that photo at the ready to explain to people what I was, um, and that I was not Luigi, and I'm still
Many of
bitter
them,
that this
how many of them?
person. Ah,
See, that was why I didn't want to do an impression because I knew that you had a better one at the ready. How many people didn't believe you even after you showed them the picture and still thought you were Luigi?
oh, I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, all right. All right, so we won't. Brian, anything you want to say before I get into final thoughts set up tomorrow and then everybody can go to their Halloween parties?
Nope. No, just kidding. Thank you, Josh Greenway, for giving me this opportunity to commentate. Hope everyone enjoyed, and thank you, Jason. It's great to do this with you for the first time, and look forward to hearing more of your commentary tomorrow. I understand you're doing this again with who is it?
Yes, I believe the plan is for me and Heidi Robertson to kick off the CSW part of
Oh,
the stream in the morning. So very
that'll
much
be
looking
great.
forward to that. I think we hit all of our thank yous, just a couple more. Brian mentioned it earlier, but many thanks to Word Game Players Organization for adding $5,000 to the prize pool of this Midwest major and making it feel like a major. Also need to thank our directors, Linda Finn and Mike Johnson, for running this tournament. And as I was about to say before Andy played, or one of them played in that end game, thank you to the viewers because without you, I would just be talking to myself on here, and I do that enough as it is. So it's nice to be talking to someone, and many thank yous to my partner Brian. I thoroughly enjoyed our maiden voyage together, and I hope that we can do it again soon.
Yeah, it'd be real good. Yeah. Uh, good luck. Good luck tomorrow. I look forward to watching you and Heidi. Uh, that will be a great stream. Hope all of you tune in for the rest of this weekend here on Let's Play
Right.
Scrabble.
On behalf of me and Sylvester Stallone, I mean, on behalf of me and Brian Garnett, remember to smash that like and subscribe button so you're notified when we go live tomorrow. Everybody have a great night, and I will see you in the morning.